Welcome to South Florida. Yeah. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to South Florida.
When you on the field, is it pregame? Like, is it ever? Are you ever afraid? Does you ever feel fear, or do you ever feel pressure?
Nervous.
You ever feel pressure?
Not one bit.
None of that.
No.
Who's been your tough defender? Like, who's guarded you the tough?
Yeah, who's the toughest person to play?
I don't see nobody.
I knew this.
Nobody.
Man. He was gonna give it the damn hood.
That's what I'm for. I'm a playmaker. I love receiving. I love the.
Yeah.
So I just gotta do what I do.
University of Miami, they land you, and then they land the number one. We call him football player, number one player in the nation, James Williams.
Yeah.
Both playing the same position, right? How do you envision that working? Are they telling you how that's gonna work, or?
Well, I feel like me and James two different safeties. And I'm more of the ball hogging safety. He's more of the rangy playing, like you couldn't say like in the box, like a striker position, strong safety.
Right.
And I'm more of the free safety. So I already know in practice that's gonna just build great competition. And when the game comes, it's gonna be easy.
That's what's
up.
up.
I know we go hand in hand because it's like we're the same person.
Right.
So he has like his strengths and weaknesses, and I have my strengths and weaknesses. And we're gonna he can feed off of me, learn how to, I guess, be more of the free safety, and then I can learn off of him, be more of like a closer to the box safety.
Right.
So I feel like we just gonna make each other better.
Yeah, James played free safety. He wanted to play free safety. He was big on that. But James don't never be back at free safety. James be closer to the line than linebacker sometimes.
Or if this person like doesn't take that step or certain things, it just, I feel like you beat your man every play,
right,
and you got the best chance to stop any team, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Five star. Lean team. 6'12", 276 pounds.
Yeah. After that, I just started going crazy. Tackles after tackle.
Yeah, the first play was like a tackle for loss, like 6.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't touch you. Like,
yeah, like they did.
Explain to me, dog. Like, what is that about? Like, how do they not? You 6'5", 300 pounds. Is it something? Is it a swim move? Is something you do? Like, they don't see you? You're teleporting? What's going on?
I'm too fast for a long.
They don't realize you that fast when the game starts. Like,
I'm gonna be the best player on the field. Like, I just gotta show the world. Like, I'm the true 50. I'm the next 56 up. The next. I'm gonna just go crazy this year. Like, show people like, wow, at 56. Like, show them like I want to take care of my mom. I want to put in a big house, stupid cars, big pool in the backyard. Put on for my brothers, my nieces and nephews, like coaches. I think all of them was for like having me here at this like position that I'm in now, because like it took hard work and dedication. Without all of them to guide me in the right path, I wouldn't be here today. So I think all of them for like helping me out. Like, yeah.
It's gonna take 3 motherfucking days, and that's what?
Big time players step up in big game. All the criticizing, all that, it's over, baby. Big time players step up in big game.
what's good? What's good? We got 62 in here, man. We're trying to get 70%. Oh, the boy dropping them IOD Squad emoji. Shout out to Sean Browns. He in this thing early, man. Raining. He in this thing early, man. Raining. Anything early. Raining in 1999. He got the 1999. Shout out to Sean Rounds. What's good? What's good? I'm D, man. We about to talk about everything from Bitcoin to ball. I got my boys KB in the back, Rich in the back. Hayes might show up in here. Few things going on, man. It's kind of lit out here. It's kind of crazy what's going on out here, man. The boys dropping them. Listen, we got to get to 70% likes. If we do, the faster we do it, we open up the chat. Everybody can comment. So we get to 70% likes. It's 57 in here. We need about 30 likes. But as the people start coming in, you know what I'm saying? As the people start coming in, y'all gonna have to catch up. Few things first, man. Let's get this thing popping. Breaking news: Antonio Brown. This is the weirdest thing. Antonio Brown. They're reporting that Antonio Brown is in a standoff with the police department in Tampa, Florida. That's how they're reporting it, right? Antonio Brown's in a standoff with the police department in Tampa, Florida. Then if you read it, what he's in a standoff for, they say domestic violence. He's wanted. There's a warrant out for his arrest. Domestic violence. That's why Antonio Brown is out. There's a warrant out for his arrest. Domestic violence. In a standoff, police outside with a megaphone. All type of tweets going out. When you read it, it says Antonio Brown got in a domestic altercation, threw a shoe at somebody, child, and tried to kick her out by locking her out of the house. Warrant out for his arrest. But the way it's reported is that Tony Brown is in a standoff, and he could be in his house. I saw one thing saying, "Hey, man, we don't even know if he's in his house." The way it's been reported is that Tony Brown's in a standoff with the police for domestic violence. And then if you read, it basically says Antonio Brown threw a shoe at somebody and tried to kick. Why is it getting so hard? I'm gonna bring my boy Rich in here, man. Rich a pimp. I'm gonna bring my boy Rich in here, man. You know, Rich on his pimps. I'm gonna bring my boy Rich in here. Let Rich talk to us about why. Let Rich talk to us about why he thinks it's becoming harder and harder to love a chick and kick out your house when it's time to break up with her. Rich.
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
Nothing much. I mean, looking at the whole AB situation, first of all, how do you report it that way? That's my first take is you're so wrong because that stuff you're putting in the court of public opinion.
Right.
To say that he's in a standoff with police.
Right.
I mean, you should have some integrity as a journalist.
That sounds like he's bunkered in, got a gun. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like when you hear it.
Right.
Right.
And that's what everybody thought. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought that.
I was like, Miami, New Orleans, man. He went to Miami, New Orleans. It sounded pretty bad, huh?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, man.
Until they clarified the situation, where they're just trying to serve this man papers, basically, or they say they have a warrant for him. Come on now,
right?
That's just bad journalism. So that's first.
Right? It's Twitter. I mean, I don't know where we're going with this because everybody gets to write on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it used to be. So everybody gets to say something. So you hear somebody saying there's a standoff, then somebody tweet and say, not necessarily a standoff. Everybody has a voice, and it's almost like the most sensational, whatever sensationalized the best takes the forefront.
Right. And because your social credit score is becoming so important when it comes to your career and your livelihood, I wonder if AB and his team could go back and sue them for misreporting that.
Probably could.
Because you're talking about messing with his endorsement deals and everything else, let alone his life. You might have somebody who's crazy who might go over there with a gun to his house and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna help the cops."
Right. If you type Antonio Brown name into Google right now, I'm gonna bring KB in here in a second. If you type his name into Google right now, it goes straight to that. That's what it goes straight to.
Right.
So listen, bro, we ain't paying no bills. 786-459-499. Y'all want to get down with IOD Squad? You know what I'm gonna show y'all. You remember the other day I was saying, hey, I got out of Neo at the end of the day, and Rico came in here, and Rico was like, Street, I ain't get a chance to get out, man. So basically, he had the whole Neo in the stock market overnight, which can be dangerous sometimes if you don't know what you're looking at. So he held it. I got out. Whoever else got out to play, he held it. And we woke up the next morning. I think we got in at like $10. We woke up the next morning. Neo was at $11. This is Discord. I'm gonna show y'all. Rico posted it himself. I'm gonna show you. Let me see. We got here. See, that's him. He posted swimming in money. That's what he posted. That's what Rico posted the other day. I think he got it up there somewhere. He say, got a trailing stop on my spy.
It's right there.
It is. There it is right there. But he woke up that morning real early. Like, looks like Neo is over $1 in pre-market. 6 o'clock in the morning. Man. 6 o'clock in the morning. Look like Rico is over $1 in pre-market. Hope it holds until it take off. And then I put the little running guy, and I put a little chart up, and then he put up how much he made.
Yep, and then I questioned,
10,000.
Why did I clock in at 8 a.m.?
So, but I'm telling y'all this because I don't tell these stories a lot. You know what I'm saying about IOD Squad, and y'all actually heard me talking to him. I think he was in here or in the group meet. Y'all actually heard me talking to him about, man, I think it's gonna be fine. And then we was on here because I looked at the chart and I was like, it looked like it bottomed out, bro. It may head up in the morning. And that's what it did. 10,000 he made. I say the market opened in 2 minutes, 10,000. Then we put all those things. He put the ice cube there. Today was a good day. There's a goddamn good day when you made $10,000. It is a good day.
Right.
But that was just a good day in the market. So man, that's IOD Squad. It's pinned at the top if you want to get involved with IOD Squad, man. I just had to throw that in there. Or 786-459-499. Bring KB in here, man. KB, what's up, bro?
I'm here. What's good?
What's going on? You got anything to say about A? You want to say about AB's situation, man? I just feel, man. Here we go. KB frustrated.
Look, I'm not an AB fan like at all, so I don't really, whatever. But Rich was right in what he was saying.
Miami Norland, you hating, dog? Miami Norland, royalty.
You call it what you want. His daddy used to coach at BA. I think he might be still out there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if he did go back out.
Yeah. The rabbit. I had a nice conversation with him one time at Boyd Anderson. Yeah. Cool dude. He was a star at my sister's high school.
Oh, yeah. I heard his daddy. Yeah, I heard his daddy could go. Yeah, I heard his daddy could go.
He was the man, boy, until they played Northwestern.
Yeah.
You were the man, though, dog. You were the man, rabbit. But go ahead, bro.
But y'all exactly right. That was my first. I think we all had the same opinion when we first heard it, like standoff. Especially when you go under those tweets and read, like the person who put it out there also said, but this wasn't the main tweet. This is the sub tweet. There's nothing that's been said to suggest, this qualifies as a standoff. But I'm like, well, why the hell did you put that out there? Like the worst thing happened was the girl said he got guns in the house. Yeah, everybody got guns in the house. She didn't just run out the house saying, hey, he's pointing a gun at me. Yeah, okay, everybody got a gun in the house. So they try to do all this stuff to make it. It's like yellow journalism, man. Y'all just trying to hype up, like, come on, man. Just tell the story. Police got a warrant for AB's arrest, and they can't seem to get him to come outside. They talking about a standoff. I'm like, first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, Lord, this could be it for him.
That's the first thing that comes to your mind. Yeah.
Right.
Like, damn, he done pressed the wrong button. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the first thing. That's the first thing come to your mind.
And what about those fans who really don't like him, right? You might have
Mm-hmm.
a former Pittsburgh fan, a New England fan who live in the area, and they just gotta go see what's going on. And by the way, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
bring my gun, right? And
Damn Patriots.
I'm gonna bring my gun.
Damn American Patriots.
I'm just saying, and it's like, so if this man loses his life over some stupid stuff you reported, what you gonna say? There's social media, but then there's real life.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Listen, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, man, y'all come on over with us. Come on over to YouTube with if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter. We're gonna shut it down on those two. But yeah, bro. So I mean, I wasn't even gonna talk about it. We're gonna get straight into LeBron and Tyler Van Dyke and Jake Garcia coming back. But that popped out and that was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh crap. And we gotta talk about it. I don't know. Is it over yet or?
It's probably gonna be more stories in the morning. You're probably gonna see that on Skip and Shannon. I mean, you name it.
Skip and Shannon.
He makes headlines. I can see Shannon right now. Skip.
I'm done with AB.
You know, I don't like AB, but they shouldn't have done the boy like that. I can see him. Oh man.
Skip. Done with AB, man. Done with AB. Skip.
You fool.
Oh. But yeah, man, I hope dog all right. Where we at with the likes, man? See if we can get these rest of these people in here. It says 100%, but it says we got 100 people in here, 45 likes. Right, but YouTube says it's 100%. What is that? What did that be about? Get the likes up. That's how we fix that. That's how we fix that. Get the likes up because only the football villains is comment. And you see they could drop the villain emojis. So listen, I woke up to this morning. Let's see if we can get LeBron saying something out of his mouth.
I got one question for you guys before you guys leave. I was thinking when I was on my way over here, I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same in when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, Black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a Black man, as a Black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid,
everywhere,
every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes. I get it. It seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys. I have one question for you guys.
Appreciate it, Brian. Brian said, appreciate
I was thinking when I was on my way over here.
When I heard this morning, because I always ask myself sometimes, man, when I'm sitting in the press conference, that's not how we run Footballville. Like when we're there, we're credentialed, but it's like, man, other than getting Manny fired, like, why am I here? I'm not like, it's not really my thing. You know what I'm saying? But to hear him do that to them, it kind of makes me realize my purpose as being a black media company sitting amongst them. And I got to kind of find myself and stop acting like an Uncle Tom in there and ask some real questions. Like, hey, do you like chocolate milk Mario or what, dog? But it made me realize the purpose of me being having a black owned business and sitting amongst most of the media companies owned by the other colored people. You know what I'm saying? And I can see things from a different perspective, and I can ask questions from a different perspective. What y'all thought about what LeBron said though?
So I'm gonna give my take real quick. So first, I feel like sometimes we live in a vacuum, and I believe when the Kyrie situation first happened, I think LeBron, as well as Shaq and the rest of them who are getting paid by the powers that be, they weren't necessarily on Kyrie's side about him just having an opinion on a movie, which he didn't even express. So there's that. So I would almost have to say that from LeBron, you definitely want acknowledgement, like, yo, this was your stance before, right? But nonetheless, what he said does hold weight because it's the absolute truth. And if LeBron lives in a vacuum, imagine the vacuum that Jerry Jones lives in as a billionaire of a sports team that rules a whole day of the week. He's way above reproach, right? So Jerry Jones, it's not enough for Jerry Jones to say, well, look at all these black out unpaid. Look, my top players, they make the most money and they black. I think it goes deeper than that. I think you really gotta address the past and be like, because you're not gonna get arrested, right? Nobody's gonna take your team away. But in order to really be connected with the peers around you, the people you do business with, I believe that you got to step out of that vacuum if you're Jerry and be like, this is the way it was back then. This was everybody's thought process. And I went along with it because I was on the wrong side of history. And I do feel as if you're gonna come at Kyrie with finding himself, you should come at me too with finding myself because I'm in the public eye. And it's not right that you don't, because I'm Jerry Jones and Kyrie is Kyrie. So that's why those things can't be in our community. That's why those things aren't lived down, because they didn't come out with a list of 10 things that Jerry Jones had to do in order for him to be back on the good graces of everybody. They didn't do that, but they sure did that with Kyrie. So we see stuff like that. And it's very telling of things that used to happen of old, like when people talk about buck breaking and things of that nature. How can you say it's not that when you're the only ones that's held to that standard? You're the only ones who have to pay that price. So it makes a lot of sense. And for you, Street, you're absolutely right. And we see it, and this is why a lot of people subscribe to Footballville in the first place. Because the connection that you have with the players who are predominantly of color is just way different than somebody who has to do everything for numbers, has to do everything for ratings, has to make sure that their story sells, just like the AB story we're just talking about. And forget that that person that's standing on that podium is a human being and that they had value prior to playing for the University of Miami or whatever professional team they play for. So yeah, keep doing your thing, Street.
Say that in layman's terms, not so I
Say that in
What
layman's
you really trying to say? Don't talking Clemson talk. Talking Dade County talk.
Man, what I'm trying to say is it's a different connection when you know a player since he's been playing in 9U or 12U, like James Williams, right? We talk about James Williams a lot. We're highly critical of him, but us, Footballville, the football villains, we're not critical of James Williams or any other player because we think that he sucks or he does not have value in our eyes or anything like that. We say it because we want to see James Williams wear a gold jacket one day. We want to see James Williams sign $100 million contract one day. That's why we do it. And to us, he's that valuable to us already. So it's way different than, someone who has a business to run and don't know James from a can of paint. Has not been following him when he was playing for, whoever, right? Before high school. So it's different.
What do you say to people who say that's not journalism? That's not what journalism is. You're supposed to report. Don't take a side. What do you say to people that say that?
Well, I would say social media 10 years ago wasn't considered journalism either, or wasn't considered news.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, more people tap into Twitter for news than any other news station. So are you, I mean, is it still just social media?
Gotcha.
I didn't go on CNN to find out about that Antonio Brown situation.
Where you went, dog?
I went to the group me first.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Exactly, but then it was posted on Twitter.
Let me see where we at with the likes. 130. And somebody said we was close. Did we get there? We close, right? We about at 80%.
Yeah, we close. We close.
Cal, you got something to say about Bron? Go ahead. You still talking?
I was about to say let's open it up to see what other people got to say.
I would love to get other perspectives too, man. I would love to get perspective from other people, Spanish, white. I would love to hear if you.
And you don't want that.
I do want it, dog. I do. We could talk like adults. Look at Cal from Pompano.
Bro, you, because you already know, bro. I'll let y'all have that. Go ahead.
How you feel about what LeBron said, man?
I mean, Rich said enough. He said he was right. LeBron gonna touch the subject he feels safe touching. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't gonna pull a Jay Williams. So, I'm glad he did what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can ask for.
But you feel it's still a topic he ain't jump out of bounds. He ain't go Muhammad Ali.
No, he ain't gonna never do that.
I think he's realizing, oh crap, I might be on the wrong side. And not knowing that he is not on the wrong side, but he sided on the side that has control over him. And I think he may be realizing, like, oh, I drew a line in the sand and didn't even realize it when I was 18. I got hope for him. Torn on. I think he means well. I think Farrakhan said it. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at Shaq. Don't be mad at Barkley. Basically, they didn't know they was caught in a web. They was just trying to feed their family. But that goes.
Their family's good as fed, but I'm gonna say this: everybody fight is different. Everybody position in this fight is different. And some people are just never going to join the fight. So some people are there to be you. Let's say this real quick. When MLK was getting locked up and he had no money for bail, but you had a lot of rich people. You had like rich actors or whatever, black people or whatever. They was the ones bailing him out of jail and all that kind of stuff. You know, it wasn't always his people or the NCAA or the NAACP coming to his rescue. You had a lot of people that didn't speak up much, but that's what they put their work in. They gave out a lot of money and funded a lot of things that he was doing. So.
Yeah, dog. Because right. One of the main people who reach out to me and they're like, "Street man, it's killing these kids, dying. We got to do something about it, bro. This is crazy. We got to do something about it." He not black. He not black. So you're right, man. People have different fights. They do. You're right about that. Yeah, but I think LeBron is realizing that he was chosen. Twan talks about this a lot. He was ordained the chosen one. The new Kobe, the new Jordan, and I think he's realizing that, oh crap, I didn't realize that with this Nike contract forever or whatever, he got a lifetime Nike contract. There's certain things I can't do, certain things I can't touch. Might even be in this, you know what I'm saying? Might even be in his contract. Or if I do touch it, I may have to break ties with the people that ordained me. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think you see that at 18. I don't think I won't even give him that benefit of the doubt. I don't think you see that at 18.
No, not unless you was raised in a certain culture, like Pac and Cube. Those guys came out the womb like that, but it's their culture. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you're right.
This guy.
At guard, 6'6", Michael Jordan.
This guy right here, dog. This guy.
Dog, you got an intro, dog. You're so unappreciative, dog.
I love it, man. I love it. I just don't understand it. If it was the heat, maybe I get it.
I'm big on Brandon, man. Some shit I made up, and it's just gonna stay like that. And every time I do it, they start yelling in the comment section, "The light skinned warrior, the light skinned warrior, never won a state title, Coach Hayes."
I didn't know but embrace it, man. I get it.
It's Brandon, dog.
I do it. Street could start playing the barge.
I know, right?
Hey, Rich shot me. Hey, Rich shot a low blow right there, man.
Hey,
I ain't gonna
listen,
lie to you, Rich. Hey, Rich, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you had just got off your job at Hardee's, dog.
he do like he just got left Hardy. Bojangles, don't he? The chat
Bojangles.
open, man. The chat open for everybody, man. That's the alarm going off, dog. The chat open for everybody. We were just talking about LeBron, man, and what he said this morning. Sound like he was afraid too. Sound like he was like,
Yeah, he had some tremble in his voice. He had that Birdman. He had that Birdman in his voice. All three of y'all.
Oh, true. Are we finished? Are we done yet? LeBron said, I don't even want y'all to talk. What was they about to say back to him anyway? That was weird. He was like, y'all asked me about Jerry Jones. What was he gonna say?
That's what I wanted. He should have let them answer. That's what I wanted.
You wanted to hit him?
And the question is, was that a reporter or was that like the little, because you know they have like media overseers there. Like, you know how when they be asking TVD questions, all right, one more question for Tyler Van Dyke, one more question for
I think that was they would have stopped him.
Reporter.
They only gonna say something when they want to stop him. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna stop LeBron. That was a reporter. That was had to be a reporter. But I'm trying to figure out what could he been about to say that fast. Like dog, but the power. Listen, bro. Listen. I'm finna lay something out here for y'all. LeBron ain't perfect. You see Tyler the Cyber beat with the 222. Say ask LeBron about China and he's silent as a puppet. Yeah, like this. Like, listen, I remember one night LeBron went live, and you can actually sit there and ask him questions. It was like 12:30. He was with the family. They was playing Uno, but he was only answering like, and I just kept asking him, dog, where did you like? Who taught you how to navigate in this world of business? You know what I'm saying? Saeed B. To see what LeBron does, it's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the business aspect and how he kind of moves, it's amazing to me. So when he get things wrong, you know what I'm saying? When he get things wrong, it's like, man, all right, he fucked that up. Because we know for a fact, it's almost like watching Obama be the president for 8 years. You was just waiting for him to walk off a ledge and them to kill him, and they never did. So I kind of he says the stuff about China, man, but it's like, man, to be who he is in this world, trying to balance that, what he was trying to balance this morning, it's tough, dog.
What did he say about China? I missed that. What he said about China?
That was a long time ago. I forgot. It said something about the sweatshops. I think it was something about the sweatshops or something, Nike. I don't know.
Well, no, what happened was Daryl Morey was criticizing China, and he stepped in, and then Daryl Morey got in trouble for it, and LeBron stepped in and basically said Morey should have kept his mouth closed or something like that. There's a lot of things going over there that we know. He basically took up for China, as opposed to, because he did it from a business aspect, as opposed to like, if you're gonna speak on the injustice, speak on the injustice. But he didn't want to take that route.
Right. I think sometimes so what I was going to explain is him saying what he said this morning. I saw it as soon as I opened my eyes, I saw it. They all picked it up. He's not CNN, or he doesn't have the power of CNBC, but he has enough power, like Michael Jordan had his platform, so he can say something in reverse like that, and they'll pick it up and make it go across all the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? Because of who he is and the leverage that he has. And a lot of people be afraid to like play with that because you could lose it. Bill Cosby, bro, like there's so many names, you know what I'm saying? You curl. But yeah, that's a lot of leverage he has right now, and he's trying, because we want him to, oh man, do Craig Hodges, do what Mahmoud Abdul Rauf, go all the way to the door. For who? For who, Kyle? I know, Kyle, you know the answer.
Say Craig Hodges? Wow.
You know, Craig Hodges went kind of, yeah, but go all the way to the door for who? Like, go all the way to the door, and what?
Who's gonna be there when they lock him out is basically what you're saying. Because you saw what happened with Cap, and ain't gonna say nobody, but ain't nobody had that man back, bro.
Right. Right. So we be saying, hey, don't.
And here's the hard part. I'll just say this. Here's the hard part about the quote unquote leaders, or maybe lack of a better term, spokesmen or spokespersons for us. They can easily be taken away because they are sports and entertainment. These people who are speaking out are not the owners. They don't have their own dollars. LeBron is being paid by people, even though he's parlayed that into other businesses. But I'm talking about his main source of income is that. And it's always been like that. You know, our people that have always spoken out have been people that can easily have their stuff taken overnight, whether it's Muhammad Ali, whether it's, you understand what I'm saying, versus a Bill Gates who can say whatever he needs to say, but we're going to still use Microsoft tomorrow. You know, you can look at the R. Kelly situation. He deserves what he got. But on the flip side, the counterpart does the same thing, and now he's still making movies. And they got rape charges. What's my man's name that made The Pianist? They were just talking about it, right? Like, that's the flip side of how I look at it. And that's the hard part. So to Kyle's point was, how do you tell a young man that's 20 years old, been playing football since he's 5, he's been doing this 15 years, I'm going to stand behind Kaepernick, and I'm barely making it in the NFL right now, so I know I'm expendable, right? I know I'm expendable. If I'm the dude that's 50th on the 53rd man roster, on the 53-man roster, how do I stand up with Kaepernick if I believe that or not? And basically I'm about to flush a 15-year dream down the drain because I'm expendable.
Yep.
And that's the problem, where you have to have the Aaron Rodgers of the world, the Tom Brady's of the world, the people who are not expendable have to stand up for that same fight, and that's not happening. I'm not saying it won't happen, but that's not happening. You know, and again, football ain't guaranteed money. What'd you say? Don't worry about it. We don't need you. Come on.
Exactly.
And that's a hard fight. That's a hard pill to swallow, bro. That's a hard, you know, and again, people think these NFL dudes make a bunch of money. They don't make a lot of money compared. I'm saying they can be millionaires, but bro, he got a $50 million contract for 10 years. That's $5 million a year. Half of that goes to the government. So now you're at 2.5. Then you got to pay your agent. I mean, you know what I'm saying? By the time you look, you back down to zero. You know?
That's one thing I never understood. So if you're a football player and you get paid, why are you a 1099 guy or are you an employee?
Oh, I don't know, bro. That's way past my expertise. I think you're an employee of that organization. I don't think you're a subcontractor. Like, you're not 1099, and you probably get a W-2 from them because you play for them.
Yeah, I mentioned that because when you talk about 50% of your money gone before you get it, I don't know. I'd rather just set up an LLC and say, pay me as a contractor.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
But then how would the contracts work? You know what I mean? I guess you could and couldn't.
Yeah, because you're part of a whole collective bargaining, and you have to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Look like old James Cook going off in the first half.
That's what's up.
That's the tough part about it, bro. You know, when you had these political stands, we come from sports and entertainment. Those are top people, and they can easily be taken away. One swipe of a pen, Nike can say, oh, what? I don't like that anymore. Get rid of all that. One swipe of a pen, all these things can be done. You know, I just saw Kanye. He said something. Who was willing to lose $1 billion over one tweet? Something like that. You never see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, look at Jack in the comment section say, Streeter, stop moving my comments. Jack in the comment section fighting with himself. He tweeting, he commenting, then he Streeter messing with my comments. Streeter, you know, over there fighting with himself, man. Jack, what you talking about, man? That's the first comment I saw from you, dog. But I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, listen, man, there's only one Muhammad Ali. He ain't Jim Brown." Bro, listen. Some of y'all won't stand up at y'all $30 an hour job and say nothing to massa. Nothing. Nothing. Trying to get y'all online to get chicken back in the cafeteria, and y'all won't say nothing. Hell no, man, they ain't gonna cut my overtime.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna go real.
Want LeBron to jump out there for the world.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, there's nowhere in the world teachers should be treated the way they treated, but everybody's scared to jump out there. I don't have a problem jumping out there, but to your point, I ain't gonna be the only one getting shot. You understand? I don't mind getting shot, but all is gonna be in the hospital laid up. I'm talking figuratively speaking, meaning
right.
I don't mind being the first one. I mean, being on the front line with it, but we ain't gonna be back here at the hall talking about, yeah, we're gonna rally on them, but we're gonna, and then 9 o'clock in the morning, we're gonna be there protest. I go out there, I'm the only one with my sign. Like, hold up, dog. Y'all at work. You know, and that's why, that's why as teachers, we get what we deserve. We get what we get because we scared to stand up. If every teacher stepped out of the classroom for one day, I'm gonna show you how effective something can be.
Oh, something be changed overnight.
One day, you know what would happen? Businesses will step in, because now think about how many people would have to leave work to go get their children in one day.
Right.
How much production would go down, that everybody's now leaving their jobs, their corporate jobs, to go get their kids. And now all of that has shut down. Just one day of that.
70% of school is like a daycare,
Exactly. Hey, boss, I got to go to the school. I got to get my kid. He's sick. Okay, you can miss 1 or 2 employees because of that, but you miss 80% of your employees because they got to go get their kids.
Right. You in
one day, dog. And now 2 days of that, 3 days of that, man, they'll start hiring people just like it is. I'm telling you, it's crazy, bro.
Shout out to Saeed B with the 222, man. They say ignore LeBron, embrace Thomas Sewell. So I googled Thomas Sewell, American author, economics, political commentator, academic, who's senior fellow of the Hoover Institution. Let me see if we got any
but to
more.
his point, that's to his point, Street. You had to Google them. They put LeBrons in our faces.
Yeah.
They don't put Thomas Sowell's in our faces. They don't put those guys in our faces. They don't put the intellects in our face. You understand what I'm saying? They don't put those kind of guys who will make changes back on the media platforms in our faces.
Right. No, it's true. They kind of hide them. Like the ones that have real impact, like Farrakhan. Somehow they demean them. Somehow they make them. they take the credibility away. You know what I'm saying? They take the credibility away. And even people who look like Farrakhan are looking at them sideways.
Well, you know what? We have a I think it's the Second Amendment, right? Freedom of speech, if I'm not mistaken. And for a long time prior to Elon Musk buying Twitter, you had a lot of folks who were in control of the voice of America, right? Which is your media outlets. And the one thing that I would look at is when the control was one-sided, it was okay. You can cancel this, you can cancel Farrakhan, so on and so forth. You can throw people under the bus. Dave Chappelle went crazy. You can say all these different things. And then you come to the other side now where you have Elon who controls a pretty big media outlet, and you have folks that are complaining about that. But I would say, what's the difference? Because Voices was controlled before. Even what Kanye and the comment he made today, which was it's outrageous. It's out there. But it's almost.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said that there were some good things that Hitler did, And the reason he said that is because
See, I didn't even see that. And that's what I was talking about earlier, Streeter.
What he said? What Kanye said? Wait a minute.
That boy is not. He is not gonna be satisfied till he can no longer breathe, bro.
Hey Siri. Hey Siri, what did Kanye say today?
Okay, I found this on the web for Kanye say today. Check it out.
What did Kanye say?
he basically said that
Wait a minute.
there's
Wait,
good in
is
all.
it bad? He said what? Go say it slow.
His whole premise is that there's good in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That God didn't just create bad people. And I think what he's trying to do is push the envelope when it comes to freedom of speech. That's what I think he's really trying to do. It's just
I have to be honest. If you're going to continue to do these things, why? I'm gonna just be honest. Why do you apologize? Like, why do you apologize? Stick to your guns and say, no, don't apologize.
Yeah.
Like, if based on, because I haven't heard what he said, but bro, like, that's and that's what I was telling you earlier, Street. Like, about being a messenger, bro. That dude, man, is just. I don't know. But anyhow, you know, until we get people, until Black people get people in different situations of, when I say true power, meaning the things that control, your voice is going to always be, how do I say it? Censored, I guess is the right way to say it, right? You know,
right.
Like I say, Jeff Bezos can do whatever you want. We're gonna be ordering from Amazon tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what was the dude from the Clippers? The owner, the old dude,
Donald Sterling.
Donald Sterling. They didn't hurt that man. They made him sell his business. They didn't take anything from him. They took
gave him a lump sum payment.
But they saw the man old as he might be passed on already. I don't even know. But if he is, I mean, it's not like he was a 40-year-old dude. You know what I mean? He was at the point he was going to sell it and give it to somebody else anyway. He took that money, and I guarantee making other monies with that same money. So you didn't hurt him. You didn't cancel him. You just took a logo away from him. You know? Don Imus, you can go all the way back to that. He sat down for a year and come right back. He good to go. But until we get people of that into that category, it's not gonna. We got to get out of sports and entertainment.
Dude,
we got to dominate other industries.
Well, not necessarily.
Like
not necessarily. We do. I'm not saying we don't. But the thing is this, and J.R. Smith alluded to this, and a lot of people have been saying this for a long time, and I said it too. You dominate entertainment and sports from a standpoint of being the product. You got to start controlling the product, and you can do that from right where you are. J.R. Smith said, "Man, this and that cat mount. Why are we still dependent on them to play our games? Y'all telling me our green money won't spend somewhere else? We can't go down to UCLA and rent their court, or we can't build our own court? It's really that simple. Like, don't get me wrong, the logistics of doing it is going to be complicated, but there's people that do that and put those things together, bro. You hire them and you pay them. You find out how ESPN do with their cameramen. You know what I'm saying? You find out the logistics of building a stadium, where you can do it, what city is looking for money. That's one thing about this world. Green is going to always move. You may hate black, white, orange, purple, but green is going to always move. But our problem is we don't put our green together and make it move in the right places.
I 100% agree with you, but there's also another caveat when you talk about the professional sports leagues and the way that they are today. It's the fact that you have a lot of people of different colors, races, and ethnicities who already have equity, the stock, because they were the ones playing, right? That's why you have a collective bargaining agreement. They have equity in those sports programs as they exist now. I think the way it is now, what you have to do is you also have to have a balance of ownership. Like if you have 32 NFL teams and 70% of your players are African American, there's no way in 2022 you could not have an African American coach. I mean, African American owner. It's crazy.
There's a way.
No, it's not crazy.
We're watching
not
it.
crazy.
No, I'm just saying.
Bro, yeah, but people are not going to relinquish that power. You have to remember this about football. It was with the quarterback, right? First, we weren't smart enough. Well, the NFL had to take that because what did college coaches say? See, college coaches ain't making money off of ticket sales. They get paid a salary and whatever. There's no ownership, right?
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, there's a president, of course, ADs, but I mean, ownership where you is in the business sense. So now, when the pool of quarterbacks that are coming out of college are who? The Michael Vicks, the
Lamar
RC3s, the Lamar Jackson. Who is the NFL going to pick? They have to relinquish that power in a sense from the quarterback standpoint, right? Like the day of Peyton Manning is pretty much over. Even the white quarterbacks you have today got to have some mobility. The statue standing dude is no longer around.
No longer.
They got
now running RPOs. You see the quarterback now running RPO because that's their skill set,
right,
and so forth. But when it comes to ownership and coaching, we're gonna hold on. I think we only have one minority owner, the guy for the Jags, Shad, I believe his name is, or something like that.
Shad Khan. Shad Khan.
But check this out real fast, Rich, because I don't want to get far from what Kyle said. When Kyle said we could start our own leagues, right? We could start, bro. It goes so deep because what do you call a big three? What do you call what LeVar Ball did?
Mm-hmm.
But I also call this though, Street, not to rebut this, but our biggest problem and the biggest thing they have is the financial. They have us. I always say this. They have us by the financial nuts. Why is a brand who was started like FUBU, Mark Echo, all these things go away? You wear that today, Rockaway, Sean John. They come and they go, but Polo gonna be around forever. Gucci gonna be around forever. Coach, Versace. These stuff don't go out of stuff. People still buying the regular old Polo with the horse right there.
Right.
Every day. But we go buy a FUBU shirt, started by a black person, produced, Rappers Ward. They found a way to say, okay, you made it. Now let's make that old. Now you can go to a thrift shop and get a FUBU shirt for $3. Someone put that on, people laugh at you.
We make it old. We make the rappers old.
We do. Yep.
And that's back to my point. But that's back to my point. So when you want to start these companies, we have to be truly invested in sustaining these companies, right? If we want to start a football team or start a league or start a whatever, we have to be able to financially support them. And that's one of our biggest things. I think that's one of the biggest brainwashing things that's happened. We go way back to the Willie Lynch letter and all of that other stuff, right? Light against dark, strong against this, that, and other. That's why Streeter hate me, because I'm light skinned. You know what I'm saying?
We was in the house.
That's why I mentioned.
Still lemonade. We was out there in the field. Rich was way in the field. Cal
that's why I mentioned what I mentioned.
It's no different. But here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. We technically have our own league, but look how we treat it. It's called HBCUs versus PWIs.
Right.
We have our own. We have our own league right now, and we won't go support. We won't even give our money back. We'll go spend $100 for a Miami Hurricane ticket as an HBCU alumni, but I won't go give that same money to my own HBCU in the alumni fund.
That's 100% true. But I want to say this though, because it ties into what you're saying about ownership and what you're saying, Hayes, about supporting continuously.
Mm-hmm.
There's equity that has been built up in the National Football League, right? And it's been built up based on the fact that you have multicultural players. Now, in order to own a team, one of the steps is you got to be basically voted in, right? Everybody has to approve of this person becoming, or this collective becoming, an owner of a team.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear that type of language, the first thing that I think of in the business world is I think of monopoly, right? It's a monopoly. So why is sports still a monopoly? They can be sued for that.
Say that again.
Somebody has to put in a so if you have to be voted in if any group or person that tries to own a team, NFL, you got to be voted in. Why is it that way? Just like we all remember Southern Bell, right? Southern Bell had to split into AT&T and Verizon because they were a monopoly.
They try to monopolize, yep.
So you could look at it almost the same way because the USFL, the XFL, they will never ever be as big as the NFL. Period.
No.
They will not. So if we come through and we start another National Football League, be NFL, right? It's not going to be as big because of all the logistics challenges that you just mentioned. It's going to take 100 years to become as big.
Let me get that.
Like that. No, I'm just saying.
Let me get that.
Like that. Go ahead.
Let me get that. This is what Streeter talks about a lot when he talks about Dion and he talks about marketing. One of the things that I've said one of our problem is we are not attacking our issues properly. That's the thing. We keep talking about coming together and doing this and supporting yada yada yada. You have to sit down the same way somebody came and broke us down. We talk about that Willie Lynch. All that stuff is strategic. So we have to break down how we're supposed to make this happen instead of just doing it and saying, hey, man, we just got to support it. We got to gotta. Okay, cool. What Killer Mike said a long time ago is we're not ready for a revolution. Why? He said, because you can't grow your own crops. You don't know how to fish. There's so many things you cannot do. He said, so you can't go and send your kid out there to die in the street just like that because he ain't dying over. You don't know what he's dying over because he can't support himself, right? When it comes to us and we talking about what we build and all those things, our problem is we have to break that down and be able to support ourselves, like you saying. So it's not necessarily about let's put this together and let's see if it can be sustainable. What's gonna make it sustainable? What Dion is doing at Jackson State, it wasn't just because he's Dion, but he did use being Dion. He learned how to market and do media and all that kind of stuff. It's the same thing. We have to learn how to market it. We have to learn what we can do in the media. We have to get our people there and keep them there. We have to make sure the product is enough for them to come. And we have to give them reason to stay. So when it comes to HBCUs, yeah, we could all start giving our money to HBCUs, but are we quite certain what they're going to do with the funding? Are we going to be able to say, hey, we want to do this for the sports program? They're going to look at it like, man, we got other shit we need to do. So we have to understand where we are and how to attack a certain thing. So that's why I say when it comes to entertainment and sports, we can do it, but we have to be able to say, hey, LeBron, you 38. You got 2 good years left, right? Why don't you come over here to this league? Because you come, such and such might follow, such and such might follow. Same thing in the NFL. You got to be able to get these marquee Lamar Jackson. Okay, we need to come together. Let's be able to be able to pay and afford a Lamar Jackson and this person and that person. So the people are going to come. We have to be strategic about it. We can't just start it. We got to understand how to market it. We got to understand how to present it. We got to understand how to fund it. All those type of things can be done because we are cultural movers, though. Everything we do follow us. Just like what Street was saying, yeah, we can put on we can't put on FUBU no more, but we the ones made it old. Our rappers could have kept it cool. We did that, man. So our problem is the way we attack these things. Good.
I want to say this real quick, so because I want to really drive my perspective home real quick. So we get this is sports and entertainment, right? Rap is by far the #1 genre of music right now in the world. And that doesn't mean only black people listen to rap. It's the same thing with LeBron James. I remember going to LA and I was going to a game out there and I stayed at an Airbnb. It was an Asian couple. They knew more about LeBron James than I did. it's entertainment. So you get paid based off the eyeballs. I am not saying that I want to create or we should create the black NFL. No, I'm saying just like the stock market, if I buy one share of Amazon, that means I own Amazon, right? If I buy one share of AT&T, I own AT&T. It's the same thing. So you buy equity in that from that particular company. The sweat equity has already been put into the NFL. It already has the eyeballs. It already has the revenue. If a conglomerate of black folks came in as a let's say, what do they call it? Like as a hedge fund group, right? They started a hedge fund group, LeBron, P. Diddy, a couple other folks, and they say, look, we're gonna buy the Cleveland Browns or whatever team. They should have the opportunity to do so, number one, because from a money perspective, they will be able to do so. But you don't have to from that perspective, if you had 3 or 4 different hedge fund groups that were owners of teams that were predominantly of color, right? You have access to all the eyeballs because it's all entertainment. So whether it be white eyeballs, black, it doesn't matter what color you are. You're going to come watch the game. It doesn't matter who owns the team, right? But at the end of the day, when you do have things like this that comes up, like the Jerry Jones picture, like what happened with Kyrie, you still have a voice. You now have a voice at the table because you're not talking to a monolith, because you have people in the room that are not only players, but they're also owners. And you have to do that because from a logistics perspective, when you say we're going to start the black NFL, now you're competing against the NFL, who owns a day of the week. And then you have to go get the money and logistics and so on and so forth in order to make your product on par with what's already out there. So I would attack ownership in that league first, as opposed to starting another league.
Well, yeah, but here's the problem. If you look at our richest black folks, bro, we don't have money compared to money. I want you to understand that.
In the U.S., we have credit.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in the United States, if you look at the top richest people in the world, the very first African American, not black, not some dude. I know it's a dude in Africa with concrete and all that. African American, black person. What number do you think he is on the top richest list? Elon must be number one.
Ain't he African?
Right, but I'm saying, but what number? He's in the 400s, dog, with 6 billion. That's Robert Smith. What I'm saying is 6 billion. He's the only one of an African American that's not an entertainer. The next person on this list is Oprah Winfrey. I'm talking about Kanye West, Rihanna, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry.
Let me see something here.
Yeah, get on the Googler. But what I mean is,
hold on. Oh, wait, Coach. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
no,
Coach.
do your thing. No, what I was trying to say was, when you talk about ownership, as rich as those people are, bro, there's people out here that can buy and sell Oprah Winfrey. That's why she doesn't say what she has to say. See, it's people that can buy and sell Michael Jordan. That's why he doesn't say. People don't say anything. I mean, $6 billion is a lot of money to us, bro. Jeff Bezos went to outer space on our backs. So we and told y'all, hey, thank y'all for sending me to outer space, and we just trying to get to Georgia.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
I don't think, but I don't think you have to compete with the NFL. Like, I don't think. Right. I just think. Remember And One mixtape?
Yeah, I remember that.
And when mixtape started, some dudes playing basketball, and you was like, they showed us the rucker. You know what I'm saying? What the rucker was, like in the '90s, and dudes, and you was like, God damn, are they playing basketball? Or are they out there? The Globetrotters meet? You know what I'm saying? What the is going on? You couldn't tell. You know what I'm saying? People was all on the court, dudes doing crazy moves. They took that shit on the road. And I think I went and saw that motherfucker 3 times in 3 different cities. Dog, we are the creators, dog. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And
we are the creators.
But here's the financial thing. Here's the sad part about it. Somebody brought this up. I don't know it to be exactly true. I'm not saying it is or isn't. I just don't know the research. But they were talking about the FUBU. And they said, oh, he went and sold it to Barney, New York for $800 million. Because that's what happens. They had the financial nuts. Guess what they say? You know what they say? Hey, them dudes making $200 million. Let's buy this and put it on the shelf. Because $800 million is a lot to us. But like I said, the number one richest black person got $14 billion. And that dude from Africa.
Yeah.
Richest black person. But I'm saying he only got 14,
this.
Hold on, he only got $14 billion. Bro, $14 billion puts you at, I can even tell you, maybe 100 and something.
He was back.
He the richest black person. But think about this. How much of these people made off of other things? They come in and say, hey, let's look at your boy, man, from Dallas Mavericks.
Mark Cuban.
Shark Tank. Mark Cuban. He started with the .com thing. Boom. Man, I'm finna go do this because it's fun. But he made his money elsewhere and then brought it over here and said, hey, I could do all these things because he likes sports. I get it. But I'm saying all this, and you guys have it, that the money that we have that we think is rich, baby, they wipe their behinds with that kind of money. Yeah. This dude got 14 million and your boy got 271 billion. I mean, this dude got 14 billion.
Yeah.
Elon got 271 billion.
So you should have a strategy for every business.
All you have to do is not sell, though. Just because he got more money,
you got to remember what Peter said.
I mean, you have to sell out to them. We want to own things,
right?
Wait up, Rich. We want to own things, right? We sell because they have way more money than us, right? And it's like, damn, this is my BET. I'm finna sell fucking BET. You know what I'm saying? Because but all you have to do is not sell and focus on ownership, right? And just own enough things. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. When the money comes, it does. It's enticing because it's like, God damn.
It's hard, Streeter, and that's hard. You know why it is hard? Because where we are. And speaking to that guy, the Gote, whatever his name is, 130th on the list. But anyway, Streeter, right now, if I'm 247 Sports and I like what you're doing, hey, bro, I want you to come host this show. Still call it Footballville, whatever. I'm gonna give you $4 million for it. Right now, would you sell?
Yeah, I can have it. I'm going to work with Coach Hayes.
That's my point. $4 million ain't nothing to them, but it's enough to keep you stagnant. It's enough to break you down. And now you guess what you got to do? Start all over again.
That's why you gotta have. You gotta treat businesses.
Hold on, but like the guy who started 247 says, you know what? I'm gonna build this up. I'm gonna sell it to Yahoo or wherever he sold it to, and I'm gonna build another one. And then I'm gonna sell it to such and such and build another one.
Yeah.
But again, that building that another one for us is hard because we pretty much got blessed for building the first one.
Well, it becomes easier to build a second one. We just kind of, I don't know why we kind of go after we do something great. We kind of go into we disappear. So that's a whole different topic. But
go ahead, Kyle. You said you gonna say something.
Yeah, you kind of lead me into a point. Like Streeter was saying earlier, it's not our problem is we ain't got to compete. You know, we know they got the money, so we ain't got to try to. Hey, we got to get a guy that got that kind of money. We don't have to do that. We don't need to do none of that. But we're saying, okay, 247 comes to Streeter and offer him $4 million, right? I look at it the same way I look at Dion when we talk about Dion leaving. Why in the world are we allowing Dion to leave? We've got LeBron James always got on his HBCU stuff. You got Chad Johnson always got on his HBCU. Why haven't we got our people together? They know a lot of famous and rich people and all this kind of stuff or whatever. Why haven't they got together and say, hey, we gonna donate to Jackson so Dion ain't got to go nowhere? Why can't we pay Dion the $10 million that he need to stay? And that's what it come down to. So it's the same thing with starting your
$32 million.
Dion,
exactly
listen,
to USC.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
If y'all don't know what y'all looking at, I had to say it again, y'all.
Dr. Dre gave USC $32 million.
Yeah, I think because his daughter was going there or something. His daughter went there or something.
Hey, 1 second. Shout out to Kevin E with the 499. He said LeBron definitely was backtracking because he didn't support Kyrie in the beginning. NBA PA was weak as fuck for not speaking up for Kyrie. Yeah, I mean, he was backtracking, but at the same time, man, like all I could do is tip my hat to him because, like I said, yeah, some of y'all won't even stand up at your job and be like, "Hey, man, the copier broke." Like, what the fuck, yo? You know what I'm saying? Like, so. Yeah, because he don't get everything right, and like I say, I think LeBron is realizing that holy shit, I'm sitting on the wrong. I might be sitting on the wrong side a little bit, even though I was trying to do what I thought was right. I had my barbershop set up and dribble. I got my black team, and it look like I'm doing it right. And y'all like, fuck is this? Is a string? And string connected to my hand? Like and you realize that holy shit, they kind of got me, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's realizing that, but it's only because we come from nothing. Like we come from so far, and people start dingling carrots in your face. You got to take them, especially for your family. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my point.
Take them.
They always got us by the financial ball. They know they can outbuy you and put you on the shelf because it's just like I always go back to the 360 deal. Like I said, I'm not no musician. I just hear it's bad. I really don't know what it means. But how do you tell a kid who ain't never had nothing that's finally finna try to get put on not to sign this 360 deal that he know is bad, but somewhere down the line he can outplay it? All right, I'm gonna do this, a 360 deal. I'm gonna stack my chip, but then he got to go get the starter kit. Dog, you hear everybody's the same story, the 30 for 30s, everybody telling the same story year after year, but we still don't learn because financially they got you by the balls, and they're saying, well, if you don't take 360 deal, I know a dude over here that will. So what do? You try your luck at the roulette wheel, knowing that there's one little spot on there, one little spot that you could potentially become a Jay-Z, potentially become that, but all them other spots on that wheel is failure, bump, bump, bump. But I'm gonna take my chance and sell out because financially they got you by the nuts. Look at your girl. What's her name? Glorilla.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Maybe do your thing. What I'm saying, do your thing. But this is also bigger plan. A song like that, I'm fuck nigga free. Mm-hmm. That's the song that they put out for Song of the Year. Who does that influence? That influences us.
Black folk.
They will make one person rich to affect millions. They don't care that Glorilla got she don't even got a bunch of money. It appears to be. But what's she gonna do? Give it right back. What's she gonna go buy? Balenciaga. She gonna go buy the Coach purse. She gonna go try to buy a house she can't afford. So now the bank gonna get that money back. But what has she done? She's affected me. It ain't no different than love and hip hop and the rest of that.
Yeah.
They made her cute. It took maybe 3 months for them to make her cute, dog.
No, they didn't. No, they tried. I don't know if they did. I don't know if they were successful.
But she done came a long way. Me and Kia sat there and watched. We were like, Kia, look, watch this. Watch how she look in 6 months. She came a long way, dog.
The crazy part about that song is
go ahead.
You also she talks about, you know, I don't know if I'm able to say it without, you know, deletion of children, right? In the song. And it's like, I never heard, I never heard nothing like that in any other culture's music. I've never heard nothing like that.
But that's what Kanye was saying, bro. This is exactly what he was talking about.
But you know what talent I have though? The first time I heard that song, I looked up at the TV and I saw the visual with the song. I was like, oh my God, it's a hit. It's finna just, and it wasn't because what
I've never
y'all
heard
said.
that song.
It just, you haven't heard the video of the girls dancing on the car?
I've never heard that, bro. I refuse. I've never heard that song. I refuse.
Summer Walker just made one just like it too. She made a song just like it, and it's gonna be a hit. She made it a week ago.
Cal, you say you refuse. What you mean? How do you not pass by it on Facebook and see it? Talk to me.
I do. If I pass by it and it may start playing, I still never heard a single lyric. That's how fast I'm gonna like keep moving. I can see this stuff from a mile away. Like, first off, just the name of the song anyway.
What's your thought process?
No,
on it?
I've never heard the song.
But what's your thought process?
What you mean?
Like, why do you not let it into your existence? Like, what is it you thinking?
I don't want to hear none of that shit. But like the things you absorb, whether you absorb them through the ears, through the eyes, or whatever you do, those things stay with you. They sink into you. And for me, it frustrates me. So I'd rather not be frustrated.
Gotcha. No,
but I have to say this to you. I have to say this to you, Kyle. You have to know what it is. But listen, you have to know what it is not to like it, right? Like you've had to
NWA yourself.
You had to consume a portion of it to know I don't want to hear that.
I promise you I never have. I don't have you know, as we go along, coach, you can see certain things from a mile away. Just like coaching, you know certain players and what they're gonna do from a mile away. So it's certain things that I see jump into the atmosphere. Plus, you got people that talk too, coach. So it ain't like I gotta hear the song. You can hear the people talk about it. I'm just like, bro, I'm not even putting my finger in nothing like that, bro.
That's true. That's fair. And it's funny like that, and that's what gets pushed. This song right here gets pushed, but then we'll have something of conscious of rap, and this is what Leo Cohen. I'll take talent over issues. That's not talent. They just pumped the mess out of it. They made it TikTok famous. They made it a female anthem, right? They made it a female anthem, but the same female talking about why I can't find a dude because you F nigga free. And like, this is what kills in the culture. But where does it come from? The airways. Yo, she signed to Yo Gotti. But who Yo Gotti deal with? If you look at every aspect of our music, there's always somebody in there, from Jimmy Iovine on the West Coast, Leo Cohen from the East Coast, Clive Davis from the R&B. And they're the ones who say yay or nay to the songs.
Yeah, all Yo Gotti do it right. He get it right and take it to a major label, right? Like a major distributor.
Yeah.
Right? Not like Luke. Like Luke
He's a broker.
It was the same thing with Luke. Like, who was like independent out there? Trump. Master P
Luke was independent.
Master P and Luke. Yeah, Master P and Luke.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Even Luke got in the jam where I think he had to, you know what I'm saying, give up some of those hits. But you don't have to sell, Hayes, and like Black Wall Street. They just was circulating. You know what I'm saying? The people had to drop a bomb on them. Ownership is what we want. You don't have to sell. You don't have to be as big as them, right? You know what I'm saying? You just have to keep the ownership so you can control something. Dude, they're gonna be bigger, and they're gonna have to drop a bomb.
Exactly.
They saw it. They're gonna have to
don't buy
street.
Somebody said it on here. If you don't sell it, they're gonna terrorize you.
Well, Street, you said what needed to be said. That circulation. So the way we don't have as much money as them as an individual or like as a whole, of course. But if we make our dollars circulate in our community more than they do, we'll be fine. That's all we got to do. We keep on supporting and the money keep on circulating. I don't know if people understand that whole concept of letting your money circulate in the community before it leaves out. You know what I'm saying? Like they used to say, I think in Black Wall Street, where they say the dollar would circulate. I forgot what X amount of times before we leave the community. I don't understand how big that is, because all the money we make and it never goes nowhere. Oh, bro, you don't need their money. You wouldn't have no reason to sell out no more.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
don't
nobody in this
understand,
chat.
bro.
Okay, nobody in this chat. Hey, Street. Okay, nobody in this chat and nobody on this panel said they own a pair of shoes that Masterpiece selling.
Nah, but we gotta get our mind right though, Hayes, and that's what we have to get our mind right. And understand that economic part of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of stuff. I got a bunch of rap snacks in there. Rich
ugly.
I met the rap snacks.
I love the rap snacks. Hey, listen, but we got to get our mind right. We watched LeVar Ball step by step show us what independent looked like, and people looked at him and was like, "Could you please sit down and come back to the field?" That's how our people. And I was like, "This man is showing you the blueprint of what independency look like when your kids are ballers." And then he won. He won, and his son got drafted, what, third?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the triumph story at? Where's the story of God? Damn, that boy is a legend.
It's coming, hopefully.
They're not going to, hopefully. Who you hoping to do it?
I mean, they're not going to tell that story. No, it's up to us.
They're too busy making, go get R. Kelly or whatever the hell they made. They're too busy making those. You know what I'm saying? So it would have to be on us. That is a legend what that man did, dog.
That's that man took his
son got caught stealing, kicked out of college, and that man was like, okay, we'll go make him better overseas.
Well, and I tell you what, he was the only, from what I've seen, of course, Yeezys are $500 and more. Outside of Yeezys, has any other black apparel company been able to make the black community pay $500 for a pair of sneakers?
Are Yeezys black owned?
No,
it's not black.
They're black created, and they were until you sold them.
Well, guess what? The Chrysler 300 was black design, but it ain't black owned. So that's the problem. We can design it, so we didn't make the black company.
Yeezys was black owned for a minute until he actually partnered with Adidas, right? Like he owned it.
But the point I'm making is
was it created under Adidas?
B's,
I think he
the
owned
big baller brand shoes.
Probably.
The big baller brand shoes actually had sales at $500 a clip, and the only thing that came close to that would be the Yeezys in comparison to black creators in your shoes selling at a certain price point.
Did he actually sell shoes? Was people buying them? Was people buying these shoes?
Yeah.
People actually bought them.
I don't know how many people actually got them. Like a lot of stars supported him. A lot of
No, I'm talking about regular. I'm talking about regular people.
I'm sure a couple of people he sold though. But he's like Master P. He didn't have to sell a bunch of them.
Right.
If y'all go to Facebook, I'm gonna tell it. Go to Facebook and you can watch the LeVar Ball story. He was recording everything step by step. He was recording his own show on Facebook. You could watch when his wife went to the hospital. You could watch when his son got locked up. It's all there, dog. The man did some genius shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep saying it till I'm blue in the face, and you still got people saying he fucked up them kids' life. He couldn't they didn't get to go to college. Man, damn. We can't even see it when it's in our face.
Yeah, but guess what? The baller brand already out. Like nobody talking about them anymore. There was a hit for a year, not a hit, but I mean, there was in the airways for a year, maybe 2 years. The big baller brand. I'm just talking about like being a wave, but it was at the time of the boys being drafted. Exactly.
They stopped giving him advertising.
And what else? Because they own the advertising, the distribution, the manufacturers. Because now, if he tries to go to the same manufacturer as Nike, guess what Nike say? Hey, man, we pulling out of here if you don't stop dealing with him. See, that's where it all goes back. Yeah, we can own it, but we all know how it is. These other manufacturing companies, now you got to have enough money to go buy your own manufacturing company. And $6 billion or $14 billion ain't going to do it.
But that's why JR said, he said, why don't we do things together? Why do we keep on trying to do, like he was saying, he was like, man, Wade when he got a shoe, LeBron he's like, why we keep doing all this shit separately? And Antoine Walker was like, bro, that's the same thing I had been saying. We keep trying to do everything separately, knowing we had a disadvantage already. And like Coach Hayes keep pointing out, they got us by the balls financially. We ain't gonna do nothing as individuals. We have to do it as a group. How do you think and I hope this ain't inflammatory to anybody, but if it is, I don't care really. But how do you think Jews, Asians, all these different people in America that are not, how do you think their communities stay afloat? Arabs, yeah, they got money and stuff from the government, but they support each other. They keep their money together and they do things for each other. But they do everything as a group. You know what I'm saying? Like they support things as a group. And we can't, that's our problem. We can't keep doing things as individuals, especially we got millionaires. Bro, you making 40, you making 30, yada yada. Bro, collectively, y'all, it's a couple of billionaires when y'all do y'all stuff together. But you as an individual got $10 million talking about, man, we need to start a league, or I want to start a league. No, y'all do it together, bro. Everybody else does that but us.
You 100% right. J.R. Ryder in that interview was perfect, bro. 6 hours our money stays circulating in our community. 6 hours. We spend more than that on a job.
Every day.
Goodness. Every day.
The other thing too is recognizing all of the talents that we collectively have. Some people are ballers and they play football. Some people rap. I'm in supply chain, right? We talking about distribution. This is what I do, right? You might have folks in fashion. You might have designers. You're going to have to bring a collective of talent together that may not even understand each other in order to get certain things done, and not try to be the chief in you know, you can't have chiefs and Indians basically, because
let me give you an example.
You might have money,
I'm
but
sorry,
somebody else has something, but somebody else has another talent that would probably supersede the money that you have. I'm good.
Let me give you an example. When I say what other groups do, versus what we do, Abraham Lincoln was not about abolishing slavery. He did that for his people. Abraham say, man, listen, somebody's got to be the dominant race, and I, for one, am in favor of the white people, of the white race being the dominant race. So in order to save this union, we're going to have to abolish slavery and make money off of these people. We need these for these wars. We need to make this money. We need to spread this out. He did all of that for his people. A person that he wasn't for, you know what I'm saying? Freeing the American Negro. He said it himself. His plan was to send everybody back to Africa, because he was like, man, they ain't gonna never forgive us for what we done to them.
Liberia.
Right. So you look at what he did to save everything that he had going on as a people, and some of his people didn't see it. So that's why you got the North and the South fighting. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it. They just like, nah, man, we got these slaves. We making money. We good. But he did what he did for the betterment of his people, and that's the mindset that we have to come into. We have to sacrifice certain things, our own personal glories and things or whatever, and do this thing as a people. And that's why we not advancing. We just people get more and more richer. Our athletes are getting more and more money. But think about how much money these owners are starting to get. Because at one point in time, like, y'all can back me up from, tell me if I'm wrong. Really, just owning an NFL team was just about status. It was a billionaire boys club, right? Now it's profitable, because you could buy a team. Like, think if you bought a team, I don't know, Rich, what is it, 10, 15 years ago, right? You bought it for whatever, a couple of $100,000. Right. Now these teams selling for billions of dollars, bro.
Billions.
It wasn't like that in the 80s. It wasn't like that in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to keep the thing on NFL from folding. But it wasn't like that in the 80s. It was just being able to say, oh, yeah, I own a team. I don't make no, this ain't how I make. Like, I think Coach Hayes pointed that out. They making money off of other stuff. They wasn't studying this. But now this is big business. And it wasn't before.
Golly, I'm looking just how fast. I'm looking at Jeff Bezos. 2018, he was worth 112 billion. Right now, 2022, he worth 171 billion. In 4 years, this dude has tripled the highest black billionaire total.
He found a problem. He found a problem and he fixed it. But no, bro. I mean, listen. It's great we can have these. It's great we can have these conversations. But yeah, man, it's a lot we don't understand. It's a lot we don't understand, and I think it's because we were brought over here and stripped of culture, and we're not standing on nothing over here. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not standing on nothing that unites us. It's simple. It's right in our face. But even when the scary part is, even when we see it, we watch somebody climb up, take the route, and get out. We like, man, hell no, he crazy. We gonna do it. Brown them did. You can't even when you see it. It's like you don't even acknowledge it, dog.
That's the brainwashing.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yep.
It's just I'm looking at Phil Knight, 2018, 29 billion. 2022, 47 billion. In 3 years, through a pandemic. Listen, dropped to 29. It was the same in 2018, went up 33, went down to 29. In 2021, he shot up to 49 billion. Right after a pandemic where ain't nobody shipping nothing, everybody got logistic issues and everything else. And who's buying a lot of these shoes, and who's the brand, who's the face of the Nike brand? All of these black athletes.
Nike wasn't until Morris Blackman and goddamn Michael Jordan. Dog, listen, man. We are the keys. You know what I'm saying? We are the key to get in the door. You know what I'm saying? People don't create nothing. Warren Sapp say, man, the greatest thing they ever created was the patent office. We are the keys that to get in the door. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. We sit up here and complain about college football when all we have to do is sit down one Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit down and just say, hey, listen, man, we gotta talk. Nick Saban is getting $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? And my son can't get a piece. Yeah, just sit down one day and just sit down one Saturday morning.
There's still so much distrust between us. So much distrust has been injected into our culture. You know what I mean? And we just, we think a dude pull up with his hair slicked back, gel back with a suit on in a Mercedes, he got all the right answers.
I started just thinking like, you watch Grand Theft Auto, these video games, and the people that just walk around in the game.
The NPCs.
Yeah.
That's who we are, bro. We're not aware of. Yeah, that's who most of us are. Just walk around in the game, going from whatever the TV said. TV tell you do this, you do that. TV say that's cool, you do that.
You do that, yeah.
We just wandering around in the world like blindly. All right, listen, man. Jake Garcia and TVD coming back.
What?
What? Turn this up a little bit. We had
Gaddis ain't going nowhere either.
We had TVD going to Notre Dame, dog. Jake was out of here. Listen, man, it's some negotiating going on, bro. It's we heard Lonzo, you know what I'm saying, wasn't too happy with how things was going on down there. But off season 9, I think they sitting back and saying, okay, man, this is what we need to happen. And I'm sure TVD and your boy, who they say his agent is?
Drew Rosenhaus.
I'm sure they got him. I'm sure they got him full to come back. But I don't see
So
both of them coming back.
Street.
I'm sure they had to do a lot to get them to come back. But I don't see them coming back. The guy that's coming. What's up, Medi? Let's let Medi say something, Cal.
Yeah. This topic is important to me. Dead ass, and I don't want to. I know we're gonna get on the Jake thing and the Tyler thing, but I've said this before. I think I've said it on this platform when I talk about Willie lynching and how effective it was to our community. We have gotten great recently at doing what we're doing right now, right? Having this collective conversation, talking about and highlighting all the problems, and then nothing comes with that shit. It all stops here. We talk about these ideas and we dartboard and spitball all these ideas, But I think the bottom line is until the people who have influence start making or start challenging the people that they up there in the rooms with, openly challenging them and have them literally put their money where their mouth is, all this is ever going to be is talk. And I'm not trying to sound out to say I'm not saying that to sound grim. I'm just being honest. I heard one of them Acho brothers, I can't remember his Manuel, the other one. He so eloquently put it today about the Jerry Jones thing, that Jerry Jones is in a position of power and no one else, because of the position he's in, is in a position to challenge him. So if he can be in a picture, and know that, and LeBron comes out and says it, that's great. LeBron ain't in a position of power. LeBron he owns his brand, but Nike owns that.
Right.
He don't own Nike. Nike own him. And so until another collective, and I think Rich, you was talking about it, how they vote these guys in to be owners. There's a reality with that. There's a reason why they don't let guys like Diddy in the room. Diddy been trying to own an NFL team for at least the last decade, starting with the Carolina Panthers, and they always tell him no. We see guys like trying to play minority owners. Like I've heard rumblings that Jay-Z and some people are working. Jay-Z, Jeff Bezos working behind the scenes, trying to buy the Redskins. But who you think gonna be the face of it? Because we're gonna talk about majority and minority owners. You know Jay-Z gonna be the minority, pun intended.
Right.
And he's also gonna be the one that we're gonna expect to be working these backdoor rooms and have these conversations with people. But in reality, Jay-Z is a small sample size of what we need to have collectively. People always like bash Jay-Z because they feel like he's not doing enough in the rooms. And the same people going bash Kanye because he said he crazy for calling it out as it is. I think you need a dead ass. I think you need a collective of both. One of my favorite analogies is like, when we talk about Black people speaking up, one of my old mentors talked about it. It's like, you want to be more Martin, you want to be more Malcolm. Because that's essentially what you're looking at between those two individuals. And if you figure out which one it is, you got to be equal parts. You got to be able to articulate yourself and get your thoughts off and not just say outlandish stuff to just get people riled up with no after action.
Control, starting 18, standing by on visa.
Turn your radio off, 10-4.
But you got to also be willing to rattle that tree a little bit. So it's one of those things that, I just wanted to say that, but yeah. Y'all can go with that TV thing.
But Mehdi, I totally agree with you, bro. And that's also what we talk about when we talk about the ownership and we're talking about dollars. Street, we're talking about Black Wall Street. And like you said, our money circulate 6 hours, right? I just saw it. The Jewish communities circulates 20 days, and the Asian community circulates 30 days, right? That's what I'm looking at the report here. And to one of the guys' point up here, Wood, he said, like, look, part of the reason that is because when you go to the gas station in your neighborhood, in your community, it ain't a Black-owned neighborhood. It's Asian, it's an Arab dude that owns it. We go to the hair stores, the hair salons, the nail shops. They take our money and go take it back to their community. And guess what else? And you always hear Umar Johnson talk about 3 things of sustainability. One is a hospital, education, and a supermarket. Ain't no Black-owned schools. Yeah, I mean, you got a couple of the private schools, but we were doing public schools, right? The supermarket. I remember old George and Jerry's IGA back in the day, Street.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just saying. But for the mom and pops, they get bought out or they get choked out by people like Walmart. So when you had the mom and pop grocery stores, they get choked out by rollback prices because Walmart is buying 50,000 tomatoes when you only buying 100. You know what I mean? So when you buy that, when you buy stuff in such volume, you can sell it cheaper because you're getting it for so much cheaper. And that's why.
I was just about to say, I can't even tell you how many supermarkets Kroger and Albertsons have bought over the past year. They call it the Albertsons companies.
Yeah.
So anybody that's competition, they just buy you.
And it's that same business practice everywhere. You hear it in the record industry. What Street? You sound good. You sound too close to. You sound like Elvis Presley. I'm gonna buy up all your records, put you on the shelf. It happens all the time. You see, like I said, Walmart has now choked out the mom and pop stores, but yet you can still go find a Jewish deli. You can still go find an Asian supermarket where they sell, certain spices and roots and whatever they have that they use for their culture. You know what I mean? And that's just unfortunate what it is. And then let's look at the clothing store. Where do we go? We go to the mall and we go buy the Balenciaga, that kind of stuff, and that's how money comes in, and it go right back to them. And that's the plan. But I know you want to get back to Jake, dog. I know you want to get back to.
Yeah, Medi threw us off again.
That's all right.
But with Jake,
God damn, I can't speak my piece.
Jake and Tyler, man, turn your radio down. When Jake and Tyler coming back, I just think that means Gaddis is. I don't think they would come back if Gaddis was staying. I don't see how you can convince them that.
Can I tell you something? The reason I know Josh Gaddis is staying.
Uh-oh.
It's not breaking news. It's just me looking at the What on that Thriller?
You saw that boy? That boy funny. I told you it was fine. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason I say that is because if you're going to make a move as Mario, you would have cut him already. Because the longer you wait, if Josh Gaddis leaves, Mario didn't learn his lesson previously. What is that lesson? The longer you wait, what happens? Not recruits, but the pool of people you're going to get. They don't know the job is being opened. If you cut him now, other coordinators that may be pretty good, you have a chance at them. You understand what I'm saying? If I know it's availability, I may be able to pull a good guy. But if I wait till after December and with the recruits, Mario is the recruiter, not Josh Gaddis, meaning he's the staple. The head coach is there right now. But if you wait till after December, these guys, you see them already. Hugh Freeze already hired up half his staff already. Been there 2 days. You're going to start losing these guys to, especially in December. And right now, you've seen all these guys starting to get fired. These good coordinators are going to now be going off the table, and now we left with scraps. So, if he doesn't fire him, which he hasn't fired him yet, we know we're not playing nothing else. So that's what makes me say he's going to stay. If he fires him later, then that means Coach Cristobal didn't learn his lesson about getting in front of your problems early. That's how I look at it.
Would it be fair to fire him?
Yes.
To fire him.
Tim Haggerty, he brought up a good point. He said TVD stand for a third OC in 3 years. I don't see that happening.
I heard after that last game, I got a call. Somebody told me, it was like, man, he's stubborn. He may not make any changes. Nobody has been fired that we know of.
Nobody.
And we heard a few on 1 or 2 that need to be, they got to be let go. Can't be staying.
Yeah.
But
I fired Gaddis not because he's bad. That's not my thing. I fired him because of the fit right now. Sometimes it's just not a right fit. I just think it's the fit that's not right.
Damn,
you understand?
Dog. But I just look at that as like, damn, like, I don't know. Call me a softy, man, but this man comes in here, man, Art Bros Award winner, right? Whatever he had looking at him. And to me, though, it's almost like your offensive line failed him.
Mm-hmm.
the way this thing was put together did not help him. We saw him go from bad to better and play in the college playoff. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. We saw him coach an offense in the college playoff with Peyton McNamara, you know what I'm saying, at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He did some horrendous stuff here. But if Cristobal fires him, to me, that's almost like taking him in his career, bringing him here, failing him, and saying, fuck it.
Pretty much.
So here's a perfect example.
I see if you let
I
him
don't
go.
know.
Like, let him go find another job. You know what I'm saying?
That's firing him.
Huh? No. The reporter said Josh Gaddis is not a new OC at Tulane. Or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. But you got to hurry up and do this, because here's a prime example. I'm just using this as an example. Right now, we lost out on a potential Tom Herman because he takes the head coach job at FAU versus being OC at Miami.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right now, we lose out a potential Tom Herman. And again, I'm just bringing up a name to show an illustration. Not saying Tom Herman was the guy, but I'm talking about a top OC.
Right.
Right. He was a head coach. He was an offensive coordinator. And now he's going to be a head coach at a group of 5 when he could have been the OC at a Power 5, making way more money. He ain't making $2 million. He ain't making $2 million at FAU.
So, coach, one of y'all from y'all, if y'all perspective, he brings Josh Gaddis back, he brings Steele back, he brings keep the game together, right? What do you think he's thinking? That we in this together. We all saw this shit implode from the inside together. We saw it together. Because I saw when Josh Gaddis started coming to that podium and he was in better spirits. It seemed as he was in better spirits. It seemed as if he was either knew where he was going or he knew that he was secure staying here. It started happening like halfway through the season. And he started wearing University of Miami stuff. He wasn't wearing a green sweater no more. But what is his thought process, Cal? What do you think Mario is thinking? Like, listen, man, I've seen this man win, and I just need to get him the people to win with.
I think it's just that. I don't think he cared about the season like at all. I don't mean that in a really, really bad way or messed up way. I don't. I think he went into this saying like, y'all, man, hey, look, don't worry about whatever happens, it's happened, bro. I can't win with this. I'm not going to try. Or this is not the type of, I don't want to put a Band-Aid on this, bro. I want this to be. So he might have just gave them a mulligan. And that probably was his thought process from the beginning. Or maybe he met with him in the middle and said, man, fellas, this is a lot worse than I thought it was going to be. Don't worry about this bullshit, man. We're going to let this ride out. We're going to whatever. That's, to me, that's the main thing I could think about. Either that or maybe he really is into continuity.
Right. Like, I get the right guys in here. If I can get enough Robbie Washingtons and fucking Kobe Youngs in here, shit, I could call the offense.
Can I add something?
Go ahead.
I've said this and I stood on this hill and I'll die on this hill. I think it's impossible to have the amount of injuries in this team on the offensive line and then simply say I'm moving on from the OC in year 1. Like it doesn't make sense. I think when Mario did that press conference going on almost a year ago, and he looked at this roster from top to bottom, I think he thought he saw something without understanding the mindset of these guys. He came in and praised TVD. We got the best quarterback in the country in America, blah, 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 blah. He said a lot of great things about some of these guys, met with him, and then he went through his hiring process. And I think a lot of these people, like I've said it before, some of these guys, man, and you're seeing them in this bevy of guys jumping in this portal who could possibly be ostracizing themselves in their careers for the remainder of their college football career, right? You see them all jumping in because there was a mindset that Manny Diaz left behind in this program that didn't encapsulate or embrace hard work, didn't encapsulate or embrace doing things that was physical or difficult. It kind of just took on this life of, you know what? You beat up and robbed the weed, man. We just give you 4 games. Go ahead and come back. You know what I'm saying? Put your hands in your baby mama. We're going to suspend you for a little bit, but when you come back, you know what I'm saying? And I think those things are so imperative to point out. And then you get Felton here, guys start dropping like flies. And I'm not sitting here saying they weren't injured. I just find it a huge coincidence. And then you're trying to patchwork that through this season. We got true freshmen playing offensive linemen in the last week of the season against seniors on Pitt's defensive line who had a field day. Some of them dudes made all ACC teams off that game. And it's one of those things where it's like, I can't sit here and just ostracize and be done with a guy after one season. It doesn't make sense. Not with that. Now, if this is some run-of-the-mill guy we just hired, so that he tell me two things. The people who decided the Broyles only gave him the award as a diversity thing, right? Trying to embrace diversity. Hey, let's get a black guy to go win this, which means the award don't mean nothing, which might have some.
I'm gonna be honest. They beat Ohio State. That's why he got it. I have to be very honest. He did a good job, but because he beats Ohio State in the fashion in which they beat them, and they had not beat them in 10 years or whatever it was, that's what put him over the top. We know a lot of these awards, there's some merit, but a lot of it is popularity contest, right? And to your point, Mehdi, like, but I don't see 70 guys folding because a coach come in and say he want to coach hard. I don't see 70. I don't even see 40 guys folding and say, "Oh, I don't want to coach hard." Like, I don't see a Gilbert Frierson who steps up on a bench in the middle of the game, brings the entire team up, rah, rah, rah. He folded. He may have been beaten into submission, but this same dude that wasn't playing decided, I'm finna make a stand, step up, bring everybody in. That even the people that's getting the accolades to bring them in. Yes, do some people fold? It doesn't fit, sure. But a lot of these guys, we talk about Manny Diaz, they've been in his system 1 year. The Brashard Smiths, the Chase Smith, that class of 22 has only been under Manny's regime for 1 year. And it's not like we don't have a gang of seniors. We got two? We have 3 seniors that actually start, that play. Will Mallory. Who else? Who's the other? Like,
Scaife.
Will Headley, Scaife, and then I guess you could count
Ivy.
Number 6.
Can I be honest? I don't think the punter care who the head coach is. Good job. Catch the snap. Like, I'm just saying, for the punter, yes, I get it, yes. But he's null and void. I'm talking about, and I don't want to downplay Headley, but I'm talking about, I don't really see Mario yelling at Lou Headley because he didn't come first in gassers. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, so we're talking about Scaife. Who else? Mallory, Ivy. I don't see players, because if you did, you would see more of that. You would see more hard-nosed coaches come in and people tank. One of the biggest a-holes in the world is Les Miles. I mean, not Les Miles. What's the dude? Brian Kelly. A-hole, dog. And those players, they're the same generation of kids. They didn't quit. They didn't fold. What I'm having a hard time is to say, I get that maybe 10 may fold, but 40, 30, 40 kids just, he's pushing me too hard. I just don't want to play here anymore.
Hear me out, Hayes. Hear me out.
LSU won the damn national championship.
That's the point I was going to say. There were kids in that roster from that team, or who were true freshmen that are now juniors. There was a culture there of winning. They sucked for a year and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
But Brian Kelly Brian Kelly's a proven coach. He ain't never won no natty, but he's a proven coach from a school that has been in the conversation, been in the playoff. I just don't think at Notre Dame, with the schedule they were going to play, they had to be perfect. And even when they weren't going to necessarily get over the hump.
Okay, true enough. But those kids who won the natty 2 years ago, who were those kids? They were freshmen. Some sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them probably didn't even play in them games.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them kids, with the amount of talent they had, Them dudes was standing. Most of them dudes probably didn't even make the travel team.
They don't got to play. They just got to be a part of culture.
He's got to be around of it.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is,
but
I was
thinking
Ed Ogeron is a no nonsense coach.
No, I was thinking more so have allowed them to recruit the type of players that allowed them to recruit after they won. That's more so what I was thinking of. You win a national championship, you recruit, you get to recruit a better kid. You know what I'm saying?
But the better kid doesn't change his mindset, though, Street. I'm with you. But we got good kids. We don't have the elite of the elite. But because you won a national championship, that means the strong-minded go there? No, we're talking about
what Medi's strong-minded.
Kid. Right, Medi's talking about the strong-minded kid. You hold on, here goes Street. You follow these dudes since they were babies. James Williams, he weak-minded?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Not weak-minded, but he may be a little emotional.
James Williams got an interesting
emotional.
James Williams got a life experience that most people can't resonate with. Like that man saw some shit that most people would break down and not be able to function. And I'm saying that as a military member, right? Because I know a lot of these guys talk about, man, I'll go to because they play Call of Duty. And I'll be honest, I'm not even bullshitting. But when it comes down to it, and we getting ready for these deployments and stuff like that, we get ready out the door, and we talk about these things, and we doing, self-aid buddy care and showing, and they show like a dude with his guts hanging out. It's like, hey, this was your victim. What you gonna do? I watch these kids fold like laundry. Kids around the same age, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where like that might help shape James to the type of person he is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know his title. I just know.
Is he a cash-in guy? I'm asking Streeter because he's been following these shorties since they knee pads were big. Bashar Smith.
What about him?
Is he a cash it in type dude? Like I'm talking about. Okay. Is Rooster a cash it in type dude?
Nah, you see Rooster fight.
Okay. You follow Henry Parrish from the crib. Is he a folded in, cash it in type dude?
Nope.
Cam Kitchens?
Well, hell no. You see that.
DJ Ivy?
DJ Ivy struggles with confidence.
But his confidence in cashing it in, meaning I don't want to be here. You coach me too hard. That's what I'm talking about. Not his ability. We're talking about cashing it in. I don't want to play here anymore.
No,
that's impossible. All the screwing that boy done went through, he's still out there fighting and got him a starting job. Ain't no way.
Al Blades Jr. Is here? You pushing me too hard?
No.
Keontre Smith?
Hell no.
Leonard Taylor?
Nope.
I'm trying to think of guys that's been here that you would have followed around in this deal. Romello Brinson, he's a receiver here.
No, I think Romello may not care as much sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some maturity there.
Okay, but I'm talking about that's fine. But I mean, can he take hard coaching? Because I know Max.
Yeah, of course he can.
Okay, I know Max. Max be put them gloves on and get busy. Okay. I'm just saying. I'm thinking about guys that you may have followed from their younger career coming up. Who else am I missing?
I don't know, but I don't think it's hard coaching. I don't think it's like, oh man, he's asking us to run way too much. I don't think it's that.
That's what people are saying. That Mario's coming in and he's strict and he's pushing them beyond and they're folding. That's what most people are saying.
No, man, a lot of these kids been pushed their whole life. It's not.
Exactly.
It's not that. It's he coming in and changing things. And it's kind of like when the drill instructors walk through the door on the first day of boot camp. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck is this? And now it's a pushback. You know what I'm saying? Now it's pushback. Like, man, you ain't recruit me. I don't even know you like that. You telling me what?
But wouldn't that have showed up after the spring? Wouldn't that have showed up right after the spring? It wouldn't lasted all the way till mid-season to where we starting to look at kids and quote unquote saying that they quit. If that was the case, I'm sure he coached.
Thank you, KB.
I think some kids would fall in line. I think other kids can see their homeboy getting pushed out. I think it's a whole dynamic of things. You know what I'm saying? Your homeboy getting pushed out. You're like, damn, that's fucked up. They said what?
Yeah, and
Manny used to treat dad like this. Mario them treat dad like this. And now you sit he next to you in the locker room. Bro, listen, you could for a fact that locker room was broken, divided. You could see it, and it showed right on the field.
Absolutely. And that's
now
the point
that's
I'm trying to make.
different.
I'm not.
Okay, so but that's different, Medi, than where people are saying because James Walmer says, what's Hayes' point? My point is everybody's saying these kids had never been pushed hard, and when a guy comes in and he pushes them, they quit. So James, my point was to a guy like Streeter who has followed them since they've been 6, 7, 8 years old, watch them play through situations. You know them through a character standpoint, not just through a highlight tape like I do.
Right.
I only know him through a highlight tape. I can't tell a character. He can. You done talk to him, sat in their living rooms, know their stories, all of that stuff. And so that's why I asked him that about these particular guys who are particular starters of who you had. But to Medi, I'm not saying that you were saying this, but a lot of the things is these kids quit because they were pushed too hard. And I'm saying,
I'm a bitch, dog.
Keontre Smith, no, I'm just saying. Now, this is not saying what their gameplay is between the white lines. I'm simply saying I don't see where 40, 50 people quit. Yes, 8, 9, 10 of them just might. They ain't with it. I've had that happen when I go to team. Man, after that first day, you don't see them dudes come back. They lie to their mama about going to practice. I get it. But 50 people ain't quitting on a football team at a Power 5. At any level, really.
No.
So, like I said, just a retort. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I hear exactly what you're saying. The point I'm trying to make is it's not necessarily. I think quitting is a strong word. Checking out, start having second thoughts. Yeah, start having second thoughts. Those things kind of what more I'm alluding to. Whereas you got a guy who you think is, because we've already heard the rumblings, right? We've already heard how when Manny goes out to recruit a guy, if Manny offers the kid, and then Dabo offers the kid, Manny be like, "Yep, we ain't got a chance. Let's go ahead and move on to the next person." We know that, right? We've heard that already. That matters, I think, later on when you're trying to develop a culture in a locker room, because when you see the guys that may be not necessarily your first choice, but let's say hypothetical, you just getting guys to make a recruiting class look good, you start seeing these character issues, right? That Street is talking about, and he spoke about them with some of these people. Maybe not to an extent, but yeah, you're absolutely right. He has seen some of these kids, and he knows some intricate details about the kid where it's like, yeah, he had to, we don't, as the casual fan don't see it, but it's like, yeah, this kid, we had to, coddle him a little bit. We had to get him motivated to go play a game that he claimed that he loved. That's a huge deal. And when we see those things, we then start seeing what this collective thought process starts spreading through the locker room. Hence, you have a broken locker room.
And that's my point. Who is that guy? Who on our roster you had to coddle to get him motivated to play? That's what I'm asking. Who are those? I don't
know if I'm at liberty to say it because that's stuff that Streeter shared with me.
I think Dad was always glad to have empty guy.
That's fine. I'll take that. That's fair. That's
pessimistic,
third string running back. Okay.
Yeah, pessimistic, and then we had to rely on him at a certain point this year, right? Don Chaney goes down, Trevante Citizen goes down. We say from the beginning was probably the alpha in that room, right?
Yeah.
And then we didn't have any other option. We had Rooster, who is a hard runner. Don't get me wrong, but not a desirable size for a D1 college football running back.
Rooster?
Yeah.
What you saying? What you trying to say? What you trying to say? What are you saying?
I don't see why not. I don't see why he's not. What is he? 185?
How many 185? How many 185, 5'11" running backs you see in the NFL?
He Gucci for college. You ain't got to be that big in college.
Y'all talking about, that's what we got to stop doing. Y'all keep talking about NFL. This kid in college. Remember, somebody asked me on my show the other day. I forgot who it was, asking about, well, what about Jafari Harvey getting looks at linebacker to get him NFL? I'm trying to win in college for. I don't care about no NFL. I'm talking about college. We talking about we trying to say, why is he not an NFL state running back, but we ain't winning in college? It's plenty of NFL. There's plenty of college top running backs in college that don't go to the NFL. We see it all the time. Right. I just think I think Rooster can play ball. He had a fumbleitis problem, but that's nothing to do with quitting. You understand what I'm saying? That has nothing to do with quitting. I'm looking at a cat right now. Let's see. Let's pull it. We were talking.
He fumbled the other day, didn't he? Did we get the ball back when he fumbled?
Yeah, we recovered that fumble.
He did fumble the other day. Doggone it, Rooster. You're killing me. You're killing me.
that's kind of what kind of say.
You're killing me, Smalls.
I'm not saying that he wasn't what's called, but that like we had to take a moment. We had to sit him down because that was a huge issue. Like games were lost based off some of them fumbles. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
Not solely on that, obviously. Like, you got to play defense too, but there were some games where it's like we had an opportunity to possibly, take the lead, and then North Carolina, I think, is the game that stands out specifically.
Oh yeah, no, he crapped the bed now. Yeah, he crapped the bed. I'm not going to deny that.
Some of that stuff is mindset, and you had to see like in the middle of the season with the already depleted running back room, we had to kind of sit him down and rely on Lucius Stanley.
Mm-hmm.
Which nothing against Lucius Stanley, but that shouldn't be happening. And God forbid, I don't know what we would have done if we didn't pick him up damn near 3 weeks before the season started. Like we would be like, I don't know. He was serviceable. He wasn't great. He did what he needed to do, but yeah, it's one of those things that I'm just the point I'm trying to make is that mindset, especially optimistic versus pessimistic is huge. Couple that in with injuries, guys just generally being down, and then losing games that should be deemed winnable, all help kind of contribute to that locker room thought process. Whereas you got a guy like Brian Kelly who has established winning culture. Not saying Mario hasn't, just Brian Kelly has done it at a high level for a long time. He goes in LSU. People didn't mention, I think somebody said in the comments, like a lot of his roster bolted too.
And to that point, and to that point, I just look at production. Now I know there were some O-line injuries, definitely. There's no way in the world Rooster should walk out with 1 touchdown on the whole season.
He only got one.
One.
Henry Parrish got all the touchdowns.
Bro, I'm looking at Henry Parrish ain't got that many either. You want to know the truth?
Yes, Kevin Smith nephew or somebody.
Yeah, Kevin Smith people, Rooster get us down there from, well, I ain't going to say all the time, but what game was that? Clemson game? One of the games Rooster got us down there, and Kevin went and put his people in the goal line.
Parrish came out of nowhere. I didn't even know he was made the trip.
And I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah,
what sounds crazy.
I hadn't seen him.
I'm going to tell you something crazy about Rooster. In 2021, when he did all that running, he had 145 attempts for 561 yards. This year, 78, half of the attempts, and was about 150 yards short, 423 yards total.
A lot of his stuff was passing, though, receiving, right? A lot of
this is rushing.
But a lot of his, that big year he had, a lot of that stuff was receiving, wasn't it? Some of those big plays.
He had 20 catches for 280 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, technically speaking,
what were those plays this year?
I don't know. I'm just looking at this.
He missed 5 games last year, though, remember?
But no, that's my point. Like, where were those plays? Where were those plays this year?
What do you mean? What were those plays? What does that mean?
I said, where were those plays this year? Like, how do you come in and see? You have to come in and watch tape. You have to know something about a kid. So how do you go into the season and he doesn't get any of these catches? He doesn't get any of these wheel routes. You running the tosses with you running option plays with Parrish as opposed to Rooster.
That was my point.
Yeah.
He can play ball. He can play. The dude got half the attempts with 150 yards short, 140 yards short of last year's status. He 5.5 yards a carry. We got 1 touchdown on the year.
That means he's not in on goal line at all.
How many touchdowns?
Well, he's in the red zone from time to time. It's just that when you get to the goal line, he's getting removed.
You're putting that in Cuzzo.
Cuzzo.
Yeah, I just
Cuzzo and other Cuzzo.
Like I said, I think it's a 50-50 deal street. I'm not blaming one or the other. Nobody has more blame than the other. I think it's players. I think it's coaches. I think it's all of that together because some things we're not privy to. We don't know what's being told to these players. We don't know what's not being told to these players. We don't know if these players are truly rebelling. I know some people got some more inside info than I do, and that's why I keep it 50-50 right now. And to this year coming, we definitely gonna find out. We definitely gonna find out.
What we gonna find out?
We're gonna if there's an increase, because now these guys will be their second year under the Mario Cristobal regime. They should have definitely fell in place by now. When you agree with that, fellas, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
2 years, man. They finna have 35 new people on that team.
Well, then, so what are we gonna do? Now we're gonna wait to year 3 because the new transfers gonna come in, and then the older dudes be like,
Florida State waited 4 years. It seemed like everybody forgot they sucked for the last 4 years.
Yeah, at least they came in. They came in and kicked that and kids hauled ass right away. Like we waited a year, so I would expect a little something different.
Nobody blaming.
Remember that Florida State offensive line though? That first year under Norvell, they were horrible.
Everything we thought he was a clown. No, everything was horrible.
Yeah.
Remember, guys was getting on Twitter. Yeah. It looked exactly the same.
Coach Hayes don't like Cristobal.
He's still a clown, though.
Huh?
He's still a clown. He just can coach.
Coach Hayes don't like
Cristobal. Happy birthday. Huh?
Ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't care if this was Lane Kiffin here, and it looked like this. He'd be getting it too. I don't know why.
Bro, listen. People blaming Josh Gaddis is like it's the dude at the fight. It's the dude at the fight when somebody walk in his face and be like, "Well, nigga, stop trying me." And then the dude on the left laugh and he be like, "What you laughing at?" That's what blaming Josh Gaddis is and not blaming Mario.
Pretty, you know what we need to get? We need to get the remember y'all remember that show, the TV show The Fall Guy? We need to get that theme song. Every time we talk about Gaddis, we start playing that shit.
Well then out of the old
I might ran with the brand new car. I love that show.
I'm the unknown stunt man. That's right. Coach C.
No,
I know it's a joke. I know it's a joke, Andre.
Yeah, man.
But it's a lot of people that believe that, though, Andre. A lot of people say that about me. Go ahead.
That's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when you finna fight the dude in front of you and he says something to you and the dude on the left laugh and you confront the dude on the left because you don't want to fight the dude in front of you. It has to start with Mario. It has to start with him.
Head coach, you in charge.
Yeah, it has to start with him. How did Josh Gaddis become a wide receiver coach and Punch become a quarterback coach? Had to have something to do with Mario. So he chose to do it the way he chose to do it. So the losing has to start with him. Because I don't see how we can just say Gaddis, and not Mirabal, not Punch, not everything was falling apart.
Everything
was falling apart.
Yep.
Well, that boy Cavassier Smoke. That boy named Cavassier Smoke that went into the portal for Kentucky.
You know who that is?
He from down there, ain't he?
That's the running back from IMG. They used to run all over Northwestern.
Yeah, yep.
Is that his real name
already? Cavassier, hell yeah, his real name. I covered him for 2 years.
Tap testing crash.
First play of the game versus Northwestern. 2 years in a row. Boy, went to the house.
Hey, hold on, that ain't your boy number 7 from Pitt. What's number 7 from Pitt name? Servassier.
Servassier Dennis.
Bro.
Yep.
Man, come on, man. That's
When I say smoke,
That's what happened when.
That's a name, though.
Bruh, that's what happened when. That's what happened when Glorilla have children. Shit like that happens.
when you get Kiki in the back of the club in the car.
I got a better one for you. Hey, I got a better one for you though, KB. You ready? That boy the coldest crossing. That boy the coldest crossing.
Man,
that boy just
yeah, that's the real name.
In the portal too.
Yeah, he just jumped
in. That's the real name.
The coldest.
Yeah, he had an ACC
that boy had an
NIL
deal.
Yeah,
the acquisition NIL deal.
If I was his agent, I reach out to every air conditioning company, HVAC company.
Not me. I'll be reaching out to ICE.
He already had the
I'll be
ACC
reaching out.
deal. He did.
I'll be reaching out to the ICE company. What that thing? ICE. The Ice Cube. Man, look here.
Dog, everybody's in the portal, dog.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Over 8,000 kids. Over 8,000 kids in the matter of like 2 weeks.
Where you get that number from?
I got a question.
I saw that earlier today.
That's a lot. I don't know about that many, Rich.
8,000. I don't know. 8,000 people playing college football.
That might have been. That might have been last.
Oh no,
year.
where you got that number from, Rich? We're gonna reel that back in, Rich. We're gonna reel that back in.
Wait, I got a question.
Football said 8,000 people in the portal.
right. And then you repeat it. You see how light-skinned dudes is? Then he repeats it. You see how light-skinned dudes is? You're a Rich. I don't know. You're a Rich got something going on. He promotes a show every time we have a show. He's like, I was watching Coach Hayes, Good, Bad, and the Ugly.
Good job. Appreciate it.
Cavassier Smoke. Boy, that is a rapper name.
Wait, so let me ask a question. If somebody brought this up, I can't remember what was on the space or somebody said this, right? Because if fans get into the habit of calling these kids quitters and soft and coddled and blah 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 because they leaving or whatever. What about the kids that's coming in? Do we look at them the same way? Do we want other teams quitters and losers and all that kind of stuff?
That's a valid question.
Thank you. I didn't want to bring it up.
It's not how to.
Well, I mean, think about it. Our last 5 years, the team leaders on our team has been quitters from other schools. Am I right or wrong? Our best players, our team leaders.
Let me interject. I'll go back.
They couldn't cut it.
2021. Rambo was necessarily a quitter. I don't think Rambo was getting the targets and the looks that he wanted at Oklahoma, and he clearly was talented.
No, he got unseated. He got unseated. He got unseated by some freshmen, and instead of standing there and working hard and getting his job back, he quit and came to UM.
Thank you. Because if he was leaving Miami, y'all would call him a quitter. And I'm saying y'all, I'm talking to the people out there. If he was at Miami and got unseated and left, he doesn't know how to work hard. He quit because they were too hard on him. He come here. We love Charles Rambo. Go. Anyway.
Context matters. Context matters, right? A true freshman quarterback comes in. I think before Caleb Williams gets there, I'm pretty sure the year before that, he was the second leading receiver on the team. A new quarterback comes in who develops a chemistry with freshmen, and suddenly he's a quitter. I think context matters in this situation, does it not?
Well, is Romello a quitter, or who are some of these other receivers?
I've never said Romello.
No, I'm not. But this wasn't for you though, man. This is just in general.
No, I understand. I understand. My thing is Romello once again is dealing with. Romello's dealing with once again. He was on a team where Rambo got 60% of the target share. The other, I would say, another 20 to 30% went to Mike Harley. Then you got Will Mallory, sprinkle that in, and then sparingly you got Restrepo, right? I've always had this problem. This is my biggest issue I've had with Tyler, is that he relies too much on one type of receiver instead of spreading the ball. Good quarterbacks can spread the ball around. That's why I've always had an issue with Tyler. Whereas you see when Jake comes in, I thought that should have been a seamless transition, because when Jake got into that one game against, granted, Central Connecticut School of the Blind, he was passing the ball around and he utilized Rashard, Jacoby, and Romello when he got into that game. You can see there was a bond there, right? And so then we hear off-season reports about, Josh Gaddis had to tell TVD to get the numbers of the people of his receivers in his room to go out and do bonding things. Like a an offensive coordinator shouldn't be coming in and telling somebody these things, right? And then we hear then later in the season, Tyler's trying to go throw with guys. Guys don't want to throw with him, but they go and following Jake when he wanted to go throw. These are the things that we talk about. That's that chemistry that's breaking up that locker room, and we wonder why it seemed like during the spring game, all this man throwing to is Xavier Restrepo, because Xavier the only person you throwing with, and Will Mallory, and then you take him out. Now Jake got to come in here, and they roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got now Jake come in, and a bunch of guys he don't got chemistry with. That's the starters. He suddenly got to start throwing with them, and that's why I constantly said that he wasn't given a fair shake, because anytime he came in, had to be basically off of either Tyler struggling or Tyler getting hurt. And I don't think that was a fair shake for him, right? The context matters. It's easy to say we got everybody else's quitters, but look at the context. Caleb Williams is a 5-star that walked on to Oklahoma walked onto campus and was a day 1 starter under Lincoln Riley. And then what do? He found his go-to.
But that's the point. But that's my point.
Hold on. That's not factual. Because remember, Spencer Rattler was the starter, and he ended up taking Caleb Williams came back and did he?
Yep. You're right.
He took his job, didn't he?
And then he took his job. Yep.
Wait a minute.
But that's my whole point. Like, why does everybody? Why does
for the record? Because I don't know how.
Why does everybody else get?
But that boy.
Why does everybody else get context? Why does everybody else get context though, and our guys don't get context sometimes? You know what I'm saying? Like we K5. Let's take the whole mama situation out or whatever. K5 a quitter. K5 he complaining about this and that. Right? But that's the same excuse we just gave to Rambo when you had a quarterback come in, develop chemistry with somebody else, and that's who he's throwing to. When Streeter is telling us the receivers at Texas A&M are all frustrated. Why? They're not getting the ball. The ball going to someone. So what's the difference between that and Rambo? Because we keep talking about context. I want everybody to think about that when they start labeling our kids versus the kids that's coming in. I don't think nobody's a quitter because I don't know anybody's heart or their mind and what they're thinking. It's just my point is when our kids leave, they're on the negative end of the spectrum, but we clap when everybody else is coming in, and it shouldn't be like that.
I don't call them quitters. I call them opportunity seekers. The boy is trying to go get an opportunity, dog.
Right.
Like Al Blades. It's business. Gilbert Fryson. I can't fulfill my NFL dream standing on the sideline. I gotta go find somewhere to play.
Holy crap. Rich was right. In 1920 academic cycle, 4,757 football prospects entered the portal and 1,700 found homes. 38% of the prospects who entered placed. In 2021, 6,250 entered the portal and 2,500 found homes. 41%. In 21-22, 8,000 kids entered the portal and 3,000 found homes.
Y'all clap it up for Rich. Y'all clap it up for Rich.
In the last 3 years, 20,000 kids done entered the portal.
I'll clap it up for Rich in the building with stats. Hey, Rich, I can get a number 4 with extra mayonnaise. My bad.
In the last 3 years, 19,000 kids entered the portal. Only 7,000 found homes. That thing is a cemetery, dog.
Hold on, say that last stat again.
40%.
In the last 3 years, 19,000 kids entered the portal. 7,000 found homes.
Jesus.
It's a cemetery, dog.
Jesus.
It's
so where are these?
It's on average 40% though.
Where are these openings that they leaving? Somebody got some gaps in their team, right?
Mm-hmm.
J-Dub, check your email, J-Dub. J-Dub, check your email right quick.
It's a cemetery, dog.
That's ridiculous, dog. Jeez. That's crazy. That's so. I look at it like this: like there has to be somewhere to go. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, are y'all all sitting there waiting for Power 5 jobs. Like y'all not gonna go down to the HBCU, Division III, what is it, NAIA, whatever all that stuff is. Listen, like
should be trying
I'm a Division I player, dog. Nah, dog.
Man, listen, and sometimes you got to look at things like. So somebody just said this in the comments, and I don't agree with it. They said quitting is what Tate Martell did, right? Tate Martell saw the writing on the wall. Football wasn't going to be for me. You know what I'm saying? He went and did his, whatever. Let me bounce to something else. Y'all got to understand how football might have been hurting that dude's life because he's not living up to expectations set by whoever. You got to understand some of the nasty things that's probably being said to this boy and how he feels. So let me just get off of this and go, let me go do something else. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes at the end of the day, like, I wasn't a D1 player, but when I got out of school, I was like, I want to play. About the NFL, but I like playing football. So I'm Mount Scenario, whoever, and sometimes it's about that from what was it? The school we whooped last year, Central Tennessee State. I was like, oh, about to play, and a lot of people just want to play. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't always about let me go get to the league. Some people just like I enjoy playing football because some people play and get out and then go play semi-pro. They just want to play, bro, and ain't nothing wrong with that. So sometimes kids leave like, bro, why am I gonna sit here on the bench for 4 years or 3 years or one more year? This is my last year. I want to at least have fun. I can go to NIA and win a championship or something, man. That's still a small percentage of people. Like, how many people in here have won a championship in college? I don't care what level it is. You ain't gonna find it.
Look at Robert Burns. He went up there to Connecticut, and he actually, when he went up there, one of the running backs who was there went in the portal because he came up to Connecticut, and he's having the time of his life. He's out there playing and doing his thing, and at Miami he couldn't get on the field. So it is what it is. He'll probably never. Now? I don't know if he's balling, but I know I don't think he's going to be an NFL prospect at running back, but to be able to contribute to a team is just like Kyle's mentioning. It means a lot. The other thing you have to take into consideration is this too. 40% of the kids are being placed at another program, which is decent. That's a high number. 40% are getting a second chance. But I would venture to say this: out of the 60% that's not getting a second chance, half of that number, at least 30%, have to be those kids who are straight up getting their walking papers from the coach. Where the coach is like, "Look, bro, you ain't got no choice. We ain't keeping you." Like, I go back to Peyton Matoka once again. I mentioned it yesterday, but I remember him coming out of high school, and at the time we had a 4-star all-world kid who was coming to Miami too, and I was like, when you look at these two quarterbacks, it's night and day. I would have never came here. Not if I wanted to play. So Mario, I'm pretty sure Mario was like, "Yeah, man, yeah, you ain't ever gonna play here."
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I kept asking people the other day. I was like, "How do you get 4 kids to leave in before the season even over?" And I kept asking people that question, like, how do you get them to leave before the season over? Like, how? I wanted people to explain to me, like, how does it happen? Because you kind of told them or you pushed them, right? So, so they homeboys see that. Gilbert Ferguson been here for 18 years. He got homeboys in the locker room.
Yeah. When people going through drills, and then the coach would be like, "Hey, man, take your helmet off. Take your helmet off. You can sit out this drill."
Right.
Oh,
show the pass to the left, numbers to the right.
Andre asked, what happened to the linebacker from Maryland? He talked about T2. I know he got back in the portal again, or he was supposed to. I have no idea what happened after that, but he got right back in the portal. I saw, did we talk about that? I saw Lingard back in the portal. I was like, Nigga, still, what the hell's going on?
He should go to Florida State. That'd be awesome.
And do what? Oh, who?
That boy done hit all three. Florida State, Miami, and you. No, Lincoln.
Oh no, you talking about Lincoln?
Play for all three. All three of the Florida schools.
They would have hit all three. That'd be awesome.
Bro, how much more time does he have, dog? It's like he been in college forever.
Bro. Right.
Robert Burns stats: 71 carries, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 5 yards a carry.
Burns was a good player. He just was always hurt, bro. He couldn't establish himself, bro. He was a good player. He'd been a nice goal line back for us this year.
Oh no, he's a play right here. I'm trying to pull up for y'all. He ran it, but he ran like y'all be wanting Thad to run.
Yeah, but Burns can play the game.
Kyrie Jackson from Alabama. Bro, what we waiting on? I broke his tape down. He's 6'3", 197.
Yeah? What's up with Sam McCall? Why do you think he didn't make it up there? Talk to me, light skin wonder.
I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I don't know Sam McCall at all. I broke his film down. I don't know. I mean, hell, he could come to Miami and catch all three. He was committed to Florida, decommitted, went to Florida State. Now he's back in the portal. Now he may be one of those kids that if I don't get it my way, if I don't get it my way, I'm sorry, reading J-Dub comment. Appreciate you, J-Dub, but please do it. I'm asking you to do it. But anyway, if you don't get it that way, if he doesn't get it his way, he take his ball and go home kind of kid. That's only what I'm assuming based on his movements. That's the only thing I'm saying, because when he was coming out, I don't think NIL was a thing at the time, right? If it was just started. I don't think NIL was open at that time. Like, you know what I mean? The NIL deals and so on. If I'm not mistaken. So he's from like Lakeland, right? Something like that.
Yeah, he's from Polk County with Polkway.
Yeah.
That boy live and die by Sam McCall.
Yeah.
Him and Kamani McClain played together, right?
Yeah, I did both. They take Monkel Goodwine and Kyrie Jackson. I did both of them on the same tape. Yep. I remember the name, Kyrie Jackson. He's 6'3", 197, bro. A 6'3" corner.
So, Coach, because you break down all this tape, let me address something that I just asked with our counselor. I know I'll be sounding kind of soft up here when it comes to the kids, bro. But just as I've gone on, and bro, to me, it's all about the kids way more than it's about these teams and football and all this other stuff, bro. But Coach, since you up here, you break down all this tape. Give me 3 players out the portal that we should be on.
Oh God, let me go back to the portal. Let me see.
Oh, they out there, boy.
They got 8,000 to look at. I got 8,000. I got 8,000 to scan through right.
How do you scan through that portal page? You're on 247, right?
Yeah, hold on. You said Christian Leary in the portal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Streeter, we're gonna talk after this. We're gonna talk after this. I think I talked to you before. I didn't know when he got in the portal.
I think yesterday. They announced that he intends to jump in the portal.
Oh, intends.
Yeah.
So, no.
I think Alabama had 3 or 4 players jump in the portal yesterday.
Because I coached. I'm too close to it. I ain't gonna
Didn't you say? You said it was one like 5 or something. You said
X said 6,
4 or 5, 6.
I just rounded it down.
You talking about from Alabama?
Yes. Where's Thayu Jones-Bell?
Who?
I remember that name.
Receiver that came in with
Alabama wide receiver, Carol City.
When are we gonna get Ja'Cory Brooks to jump in the portal? Ja'Cory Brooks and Jason Marshall. When can we get them in the portal? Let me call X.
Ja'Cory playing now.
Trey Saunders in the portal. Where he going?
Yeah,
man. Trey in the portal, dog. He jumped in this week.
So the only ones Alabama got right now is Kyrie Jackson, cornerback, Trey Sanders, running back, the punter, Jack Martin, and a D lineman, Braylon Ingram, jumped in the portal. That's all they
ain't
got.
Updated yet. It's gonna be 10 in 2 days.
Yeah, but that's 11:23, 11:22, 10:31, and 9:20. Oh, that boy D lineman was in the portal back in September. He still ain't got out of there.
God,
that boy jumped in the portal in September 22nd, dog. That boy still floating out that thing.
What? So Street
Braylon Ingram, the D lineman.
What's up?
Street, what I keep saying about these players keep jumping in the portal so early. Bro, go ahead and finish out the season. Because look at you. Unless you somebody, half of y'all getting stuck in there till spring anyway. Play. Like what I said about Huff the other day. And I know I bring up Huff a lot, but it's just an example. If Huff would have stayed for his last game, he might have got some tape because they was down bad at linebacker. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more than we're going having a senior night. They needed some bodies out there. So you might have gotten a shot. And all it takes is one shot, one play. Remember what Bain said about his recruitment? Bain said, man, he came down and hit somebody on the kickoff. And he think that's what pretty much got him his scholarship. So all it would have took for Huff to do one play like he did in the spring, get a pick and run that thing, let people see your speed, something, bro. I don't know why they be jumping in so early, bro. Like, because the other teams know that the portal's going to be full. So you think they're really eyeballing guys that's jumping in the portal, 2 weeks before December 5th? Like, oh, bro, they going to wait it out and see what's good in there.
Right.
Hey, this kid in the portal too, Daryl Hardy from Duke. He from up here out of Orlando. He was at West Orange, man. Hey, I didn't know he was in the portal.
Let me see. So Miami gonna take Miami will take, let me see, 27 to 28. Miami taking 27 to 28 recruits.
Out of high school.
So what's the rule now, guys? You gotta have 85. There's no more 25. You got, as long as you get to your 85, is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, y'all heard what Luke said. I heard what Luke said, man, about that, how they skating around the 85. That was dope, bro. I was like, that was so smart.
Luke said they're taking the NIL money, paying tuition, hey?
Man, whew,
that's
crazy.
I said that's a new Santana Moss rule. They're gonna stop that in the middle.
Yeah.
Who is they? There's no security guard at the door. Who is they?
NCAA, I promise you.
Ja'Cory Brooks, 37 receptions, 623 yards this year, 7 touchdowns.
But he could have came over here and been our Rambo, man. Bump all that.
Mallory, he only got to compete with Mallory.
That's it.
That's it.
Huh.
That's it. He might have been our lead receiver with them numbers.
Hey, Street.
What's up?
Not to switch topics too far, but did y'all hear the news about the playoff?
Oh yeah, we talked about it the other night. We had a whole Midnight Madness show last night about it. Oh, that was last night. Yeah,
playoff officially got expanded to 12 teams starting 24-25 season. The thing that was holding it up was the playoff is official. It's going to be 24-25. It's going to be a 12-team playoff. Wow. God damn, hold on.
Yeah, we talked about it last night.
Sergeant Slaughter on the line.
2024, they going to 12 teams, dog. They speeding up the process.
We gonna be ready by the end, Street?
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, give those bowl games meaning again.
We gonna be ready by the end, Street?
2024?
No. Yeah, 2 years.
12 teams. Shit. Okay, SEC gonna get 8 teams, and then everybody else get 4. We can get one of those 4 slots. We get one of the 4 slots, dog.
We're not gonna be.
Can y'all imagine? Hold on. Let's just say we are, coach. Coach, let's just say we are. Can y'all imagine us in the playoffs? Josh Gaddis versus Manny Diaz.
Oh man.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, we're gonna have a hell of a rushing day.
Well, Gaddis been there before though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, he right. We're gonna have a hell of a rushing day.
Shit.
Crazy.
I don't like
run the ball on Middle Tennessee.
I don't like when people say Josh Gaddis couldn't adjust. I think that's all he did this year was adjusted.
I didn't like him lying about it. That's what bothered me.
Well, that's for the
I didn't understand the purpose.
That's for the opposing team. We
That
cannot
was
run the
Tuesday,
ball that
Steve, but I
much.
don't know.
Yeah,
Take
of course
one
it is. Of course it is. He's saying that because he know we cannot run the ball. Nobody win no championship running the ball that much. We cannot run the ball that much. We pass the what he said. We can't pass the ball that much. We gotta be able to run the ball.
Yeah.
We can't pass that much. Nobody won a championship.
No. I'm talking about him saying he didn't tweak the offense. Like, bro, are you serious? Like, you gonna think the people didn't see that? The fuck?
Nah. The opposite, dog. Anything they say up there, just take the opposite.
I don't know where y'all went out to. I had to hop off. But as far as the playoff goes, they were waiting. They quoted saying they were in the fourth quarter with no overtime as an option because if they didn't pass this deal, essentially they were going to stick with the 14 for the foreseeable future. I guess what they were waiting on was the Rose Bowl committee was holding it up because they wanted their guaranteed New Year's Day slot to coincide with the parade. But with it expanding, which it would mean more playoff games, so they couldn't guarantee that because the season would go a little bit longer now. So they got into it. They finally backed off requiring that guarantee, and we got a 12-team playoff coming in 24-25. So
we talked about it last night. Does it take away? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You want me to go? Go ahead.
Does it take away from? I was telling them that I asked Coach Jude, how do you get your team up to play Norland after you just played Northwestern in the previous round? You know what I'm saying? And so how you get them up to play Norland? Y'all beat them 52-6. And he say this is our 12th round of the playoffs, and this is third round of the playoffs. Basically, he's saying, yeah, I know. Same thing I said when he said, I was like, this motherfucker, he's talented. Boy, he's good. He's good. He's good. Hey, he said, but does it take away from college football if man, we just got to be one of the 12 teams. We ain't got to win out we ain't got to win all our games. Like,
hell no, I don't take away from it. It adds to it.
So?
Nah, my thought process is this: to be on this bracket, everybody's always vying to get one of 4 spots, and then there's all these politics behind this garbage that piss me off. Like, just even hearing going into this week, like championship week, there's like. People are still saying like Alabama got a shot still. I'm like, what? And they're like, well, if LSU goes in and upsets Georgia, then something about it's not a quality win. So because Alabama, and I'm like, dog. I was like, if Alabama get in the playoffs, you will not hear from Medi again as far as college football. I'm done with it. We ain't talking about no more because that would be pure unadulterated nonsense. Right? But at least this makes it a little bit more. I think it almost vies for more buy-in because teams understand now that I don't necessarily have to be a conference champion per se for my conference to make it into the actual playoff, which opens the door. The scary part that I see is the year that this starts, or the season before this starts. You got those two. You got a bunch of G5 schools moving to the P5 via the Big 12. Then you got this is the offseason after this first 12-team playoff. Then you got USC, UCLA moving to the Big 10. There's going to be more negotiations and talks about whether or not we're going to start pulling more teams. I think they're going to start making a push to purging that Pac-12 conference. They might have a say in the fight now if
Maddie, you in the portal. I think your corporate heard you.
That boy in the bunker. J-Dub, email me your size, J-Dub.
Yeah, you good. You good, man.
All right. If USC holds up the end of the deal and actually makes it to the playoff, I think for the first time ever, it kind of brings some validity to the conference, and maybe they won't break it up. But even so, USC's already gone, so that's kind of the big selling point. The Big 12's finally in for the first time if they win out. And so I think a lot of these conferences with this conference, what you got, Hayes?
Man, I'm actually using Streeter platform to do illegal activities, so I'm talking to somebody else on the low because the FBI got me tabbed. So y'all don't pay me no attention. Me and another guy are talking on his line, so I'm not even talking to you. But you're right. I don't care, man. Give me the playoff.
Shaq pointed out earlier. He said Shaq was saying what you said. Street. He said, "Look, it's already 3 SEC teams in there, and they finna add Texas and OU. Bro, they gonna get their own bracket, dog. They gonna have that whole left bracket.
That's what I'm worried about. And that was the point that I was trying to make. These big conference alignments is gonna, or realignments, is gonna cause an issue when you're gonna have to. If 12 teams, if 6 of the 12 teams both come from 2 conferences, then it's like, well, damn, we damn sure ain't got no shot now because y'all don't even look at this as a valid conference.
So can I ask y'all a question? Why not do it this way? This 12 teams, Power 5. Why not make the first round of the playoffs the conference championship week?
So each of those 5 conference championships get an automatic bid.
Yeah, and let them stop fucking up shit at the end of the season.
That's the first.
Just put them there.
Okay,
the first round of the playoffs, and then the last 2 teams.
That kind of keeps tradition too.
Hold on, yeah, but the last two teams will be maybe one of the group of 5, like the highest Sun Belt or Midwest, like whoever has the highest ranked team in there gets that last spot, like the Cinderella teams in the bracket.
The at large bid.
So now it incentivizes. No, it's like anything. It's like anything else. There's no voting. You win your conference. Like, so the very first round of the playoffs. So therefore, you're not adding another week to the conference. You're actually taking the conference championship week and make it part of the playoff system.
All right. So let me ask you this. Let me ask you, Says, what happens to those conference championships? They get buys?
No, like today. I mean, this week, the conference champion game, right? Who's going to win between the whatever the camp? Who's up? Who's playing this week?
Oh, you got obviously North Carolina, Clemson.
Okay, so North Carolina and Clemson. There you go. Those are the first round of the playoffs.
Well, how do you do the bye week? How do you do a bye? Nobody gets a bye.
Correct. Because then you got teams playing basically 15, 16 weeks straight.
No, so what?
Now the SEC, they get a pass because we know week 9 every year. Week 9 they're gonna play.
No, the reason I say that, really, you don't have a bye because you're going to play this conference championship game anyway, right or wrong.
Right, but in the play, I'm looking at the playoff bracket. Somebody gets a bye. So I'm saying if we do it that way, which I like your way, Coach. That's not what I'm saying. But if we do it that way, then nobody has a first round bye, right?
Right. Nobody gets it. What do you need a bye for?
I mean, it's just how playoffs go. I'm just looking at the bracket.
You can't do it that way though.
Why?
Because it wouldn't be fair. Like if you look at the rankings this year, it'd only be 2 SEC teams in the playoffs, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
But Georgia has to play Washington. It wouldn't be fair if Georgia played Tennessee in first round, though.
Right.
It wouldn't be fair.
Okay, hold on. Who is Georgia playing for the SEC conference? Okay.
LSU.
Okay, that's the first week of the playoffs, right there. LSU, Georgia.
Well, what you do with Tennessee?
It wouldn't be fair if Ohio State plays Michigan. No, who Michigan play?
They in the same bracket.
Michigan plays Purdue.
Purdue.
That's the
One
first
of them
week
is
of the
not going to be fair. It wouldn't be
Yeah,
fair if Florida
yeah,
State
it's not
played-
fair because if you think about it, Michigan playing Purdue, that's a bye week game. I mean, that's a bye game. That's like that week 9 in the SEC. They're going to dog walk Purdue.
But you can't. But dog, that's like you can't hold people accountable because they won their conference because they're bad. That's not their fault. What I'm saying is it just happened to fall like that this week. Because when Michigan was terrible, Ohio, like you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and this is why they get
what
rid.
it is.
This is why they get rid of divisions.
Is.
They get rid of divisions, just putting the 2 best teams because of this situation right here. Because now, if they started tomorrow, you got LSU, a tough LSU team playing Georgia, where they could possibly upset them, and you got Michigan playing Purdue.
Okay,
it don't add up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that happens this year. That's just luck of the draw. Unfortunately,
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's like I said. That's why it's going to be most of the conferences transition to them divisions. We just going to have the 2 best teams play the 2 highest rated teams, obviously.
Well, you could do that. You could take the top 2 ranked teams, and make it the first round of playoff. You don't want to do, but you're going to add an additional. The problem is you add an additional week to the playoffs. That's the problem with that, because you still got to come up with a conference champion, and then you got to play the best 2 teams. So this way you don't. Does somebody sleep?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard some snoring. But I'm saying, what you don't do is, I mean, dog, that's just luck of the draw for you, bro. Like, I hate to say it, it's what it is. Like,
I think what Kyle was trying to say, and partially my point too, is where's the incentive? Like, typically when you play well, like if you go undefeated team, you should get a quote unquote bye before you. But I don't see where it fits in the season because everybody gets a bye week. So that means we either have to eliminate buys completely until you knew you were a conference championship and then be rewarded your bye, or we're gonna be playing football pretty much from your bye week all the way until your season's done into the playoffs, which could take a toll on some players.
So what's the purpose?
Do we have to? Hey, do we have to reinvent the wheel? Why don't we just do whatever they're doing in the NFL? Why we can't just do it? Or do we have to be college specific? Like,
no, but that's my point, I guess, right? So my point is, what do they do in the NFL? They take the top 2 of each conference. Am I right?
They will now because I think with the ACC and a bunch of other conferences are eliminating divisions starting next season. So
no, but I'm talking about NFL. He was talking about the NFL. In the NFL, how do they get to the playoff?
Oh yeah, they got a wild card.
Same thing. You get wild cards, you get a bye, you get all that stuff. It's not about the 2 best teams playing each other from a conference.
Yeah, but the wild card is just extra money, bro. Like we know that. But they put a wild card. Right, that's just to make another game, right? The wild card game, right? So that's
gonna be our at large. But that's gonna be our at large bid in college.
Yeah, but the difference is there's 32 teams versus 132 teams. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got too many numbers. Even if you took Power 5, how many teams in Power 5? 70 something, 60 something, something like that. I just always thought just take the conference game, make it the first game of the week, bro. And you are technically like it's Purdue, dog. It's Michigan versus Purdue.
Well, Coach, what about this? How about you just keep it like it is as far as like when they play their little conference championship and the conference championship guys get the bye week. They get that first round playoff bye. I mean, you go from there. It's pretty much like the NFL. You win the AFC East, you get the bye week. You know what I'm saying? If you got that, that top record or whatever, go from there.
Okay, so you saying right now Michigan won the what? The Big Ten, right? So they don't play Purdue and they just get a bye week, and Ohio State play Purdue for the conference.
Yeah, they the loser. Yeah, they the loser. Play Purdue.
So Ohio State and Purdue play for. So you automatically make Michigan. That's not fair to Purdue then, because who's to say Purdue's just because they lost the game don't mean they can't knock off Michigan.
Well, they got to knock off Ohio State to go play Michigan.
So
I just looking at it like we have a model. Just use the model that we already have.
I hear what you're saying. I just think, it's college football, bro.
People who make way more money than us get to decide that crap because in its current model, like even trying to adopt the NFL model, it doesn't make sense right now. These conference championships gonna have to have some type of incentive tied in, or it's gonna be people playing football straight for like 4 weeks. And then you got to figure out which bowl games are now going to count, because before it was a rotating model of the 5 big bowls. 4 of them were playoff games, and one was just it took the 2 best teams from a tied-in conference. So now you have to figure out.
I'm gonna be honest. You could take one of them games away, and every team get 2 buys in the year, in the season.
Elaborate on that.
So you got 12 games, right? Instead, now you play 11, and you take one of them games, and everybody now has 2 bye weeks. The only people who had 2 bye weeks was the people that played week 0, like Northwestern and Nebraska. They had 2 bye weeks.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying now that's where you get an extra break. Like you got an early bye week, like say week 4, and you get a late bye week, maybe week 10, something like that.
So you saying everybody get a second bye week?
You don't have no choice. Because what you're trying to eliminate is the amount of games. You don't want to. Now you got 12 teams. You don't want to keep adding more games, more weeks.
Yeah, I think the thought process was a lot of these games. Like I said, the SEC has adopted that model, and Clemson has too. Where in week 9 they playing some Willacoochee State School of the Deaf and Blind, knowing they got their 7 strings in it. You know what I'm saying? Where
Alabama do it every week. The SEC
they do
does it all the time.
Every year, and they do it the week before their rivalry week. So every week for the Iron Bowl, they're gonna have a. So yeah, I think a lot of those teams. I mean, it cuts off the little guy because the little guy doesn't get the opportunity to go get kicked to sleep by 70 and get $3 million for their university. But at the same time, yeah, if we talking about playoffs and big money football now, yeah, I guess you're gonna have to kind of something got to give, one of the two.
Hey, wait a minute, Streeter, how am I getting ads during the live stream, bro? What the hell?
Oh yeah, I just did that, boy. High tech, high speed, low tech, whatever. High drag, low speed, however you say it. I did that, boy. You actually see it?
High speed, low drag.
Yeah, there was some the Fubo TV or something just came up. It was the second time. I didn't know it could do that. CJ Dub said he got it too. I didn't know it could do that.
From the back room, I could do it again. Watch this, boy. Cha-ching, making more money. My 6 cent. Give me my 6 cent, boy.
I didn't know it do that. Oh, now you got to give them 30% of that 6. And you got to get them 30% of that 6 cents.
Viewers went down. That's why the fucking viewers went down. I was wondering what happened.
Hey, Street, what's Purdue's record? Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I got it right here.
But hey, it's right there on the screen, man.
The year that Georgia has to play Alabama in the first round, you know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be fair.
Say it again now. Say that again.
Well, Georgia, Alabama is separate sides of the conference, right? So you saying that the conference championship could be the first round?
The conference championship should be the first round.
Georgia would have to play Alabama, like
first round of playoff. Because what you're trying to do is unfortunate, but is what it is, bro. Like I don't know. Like
that's how it's been anyway. That's how college football been anyway. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's been. It's been like, listen, either you make it at your conference championship or you don't.
Bro, but it's like that in the NFL, right? The 2 top teams, say the 2 top teams in the AFC got to play first round.
But the parity is a lot better.
Oh no, it says it right here. I just looked it up. When Oklahoma and Texas come, there's no longer going to be divisions. So the best 2 teams going to play for the conference championship.
So I'm looking right here. So first round is 12 teams. So team 1 through 4 get a bye. 12 plays 5, 11 at 6, 10 at 7, 9 at 8. And then it's 1 versus 8 or 9, 2 versus 7.
Street, give us that bracket again.
Man, it's gonna be chaos. You're right. I think you said that, Hayes, because yeah, this doesn't make sense. Like, you gonna have the 2 best teams play each other in the playoffs. Like, what happens then? Like, if let's say there's no more conference. Let's say crazy hypothetical. You know, the Arch Manning led Texas Longhorns meet Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Texas beat Alabama because of media bias is number 1. Alabama, Yeah, Alabama's 1. Texas is 6. This is before the final bracket. That's on this hypothetical, right? Texas beats Alabama. What happens to 3, 4, and 5? And what if another one of them teams is an SEC team? Does that make sense?
Right. So what it is, they're looking at the rankings, and that's all about that love versus here's the parity. Done everything that happened in the beginning. Let's say Purdue, right? Ohio State, Michigan, they play the game. But it helps Purdue in recruiting if they're constantly making it to the playoffs. Over time, it'll get better. You see what I'm saying? That other weaker bracket may get better, that weaker side of the conference. But again, that's all going to go away after a year.
Yeah, it's going away. So there is no side of the conference. It's just
my thing is, yeah, because it right. There's no side of the conference. So then my thing is take the top 2 out of each conference. Then I would take the even though you're not playing the conference games, no more conference games, so that week goes away anyway, right?
Yeah, there's no conference division games. There's going to be conference games. It's just the conference championship is just the 2 best teams with the best records at the end of the year will play each other.
So put that in
conference championship.
Put them in the bracket. That's all I'm saying. Same thing.
What I'm saying, let's say hypothetically, right? Let's say 2 teams don't happen to meet each other out of the Big Ten. Let's say USC in the new Big Ten and Ohio State are both undefeated. Smack everybody to sleep. They meet in the conference championship.
Yeah.
USC beats Ohio State. What? USC beats Ohio State. Where do we put a 1-loss Ohio State now?
On the bench.
What is the bench? What do you mean the bench? Like they don't get to the playoff at all?
No, they're in the playoff the first round. So the first round, okay, if you take all Big Ten or USC, Ohio State, right? They 1 and 2 in the conference. I don't care who you got, 1 and 2 in the conference, right?
Shout out to Shaw, by the way. That's excellent.
You're right. You're right.
Say that again, Street. Say again, Hayes.
Okay, USC is coming to Big Ten. So USC, Ohio State, for example.
Yeah.
They're ranked 1 and 2. I don't care who you put, but they're ranked 1 and 2. They play the first week. That's Big Ten. Let's say the ACC is, for whatever reason, Miami and Clemson. They play. Excuse me. And then whoever the other conferences are, the Pac-12 and whatever those case may be. That's your first round of the playoffs.
So every conference championship is the first round.
That's correct. That's a total of that's going to be a total of 10 teams, and then you take the Cinderella team of whatever of a group of 5, whoever the highest ranked teams are, they make it in.
Well, it's two Cinderella teams then, because 2. Well, yeah. Well, if you got 5 teams that win their conference championship in the first round, it'll be 2 group of 5 teams technically.
Yes, but there'll be 2 group of 5 teams because they're playing for a conference championship too. So whatever conference looks the best is in. If it's Sun Belt, if it's Midwest, if it's Conference USA, whoever top 2 teams are better. You know what I mean? If you got 11-0 and a 10-1 or whatever the case may be, you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
And then you set your bracket like on this hypothetical right here on the screen.
Yeah, and then say, for example, USC beats Ohio State. USC will go and play Miami, right? Big Ten versus what you call it? Versus the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be Miami versus USC, and whoever wins that goes to the next one. Now,
y'all boys lost me a long time ago. I'm just happy we got a playoff. I don't know. I'm just happy we got a playoff. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, basically saying that the group of 5 teams, there's 5. The Power 5 teams. There's 5 Power 5 conferences. If it's, let's say hypothetically, USC
take the top 2 from each conference. That's 10 teams out of 12 right there.
Yeah, he's saying the conference championship would be round 1 of the playoff. So the bracket would be set by you basically being the top 2 teams in your conference.
Correct.
And then there would be 2 group of 5 teams. Those 4 teams would play. the two that make it out of each of the group of 5 teams with the best records, they just make it in the Cinderella teams in the 11th and 12th spot.
Do they have to have a spot, Matty? What if that's what I hate.
Now,
about
this is all
college.
hypothetical. This is just what Hayes recommended.
But the only reason I say that,
got you.
but the only reason I say that is because now you start getting back to it's 3 SEC teams in here, or it's
and that's what we're trying to eliminate.
Yeah, what it is you do give a Cinderella shot. Since you don't really want a Cincinnati, you don't really want a TCU, which I know that, but you don't really want a UCF at the time. I know they're going to Big 12, but it's almost like the basketball bracket, right?
Yeah,
where the Cinderella team can get in it, right? If they
get,
but imagine,
I got you.
Imagine if a Tulane knocks a dude off. How big of a story is that for recruiting in the playoffs?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I just look at it like that. I just look at it because if you just make it, excuse me, if you take it by if you take it that way, you're not adding any more games to the schedule. You're just taking the games you're already playing. You already playing the games anyway.
Right. I'm with it. I like it. It sounds like a good idea to me.
They speed that process up fast.
And like Street pointed out, I think he pointed out after he asked the question. Now you got kids that you won't have so many kids sitting out these precious quote unquote precious bowl games. They will have incentive to play now.
If I'm Tulane and I'm going to the league and we got to play Georgia first round, y'all gonna have to fight me in the locker room because I'm out. Ain't no way.
Oh shit!
But if you beat them, imagine your draft. Imagine you go out there and show out. Your draft stock go way up, boy.
Imagine you Willis McGahee.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I ain't going out there with a green wave versus the Bulldog.
You got to incentivize the kids, man. Like I think Mehdi asked the question, what bowls was going to get what? I mean, they're going to have to bid. The same way ESPN and ABC bid on these games, y'all going to have to bid the host. You know what I'm saying? Come in and now we want to do the Tostito. We want to do the toothpaste bowl. Okay, what y'all going to do for us? We're going to give each kid an NIL deal for that game. You know what I'm saying? And you got to do something. And, you can't just decide who just give it out to a bowl game. Make them fight for it. Same way y'all do with TV people.
True story. Matter of fact, I'm trying to look here right now. Dang. So I'm just trying to look at this right here, the Big 12.
Hey, so hey, Hayes, I got this. What happens with the actual what happens with the actual bowl games now?
What do you mean? What happens with the bowl game? Each week is a bowl game. It's the such and such first round Medi Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
What it is anyway. Don't they play in bowls now when they in the first round of playoffs?
Yeah, you'll just be hosting the playoff game. Each bowl game will be hosting the playoff game. And you can rotate the championship game the same way you do it now. The same way they do the Super Bowl.
Andre Grant says, Street, what's up with the kid we flipped from Michigan? Do you like what you're getting to him? I think he was like a Anchapong, like an avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Kid is huge. We put up the video of him the other night. I think most of his film is like basketball film, unless he made some film this year, right?
Somebody said he got hurt. I looked at it, man. I'm like,
The kid is huge, dog.
You
saw football film on him?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You saw football film on him?
No, he don't have any. It's from
don't
his
have any,
freshman
right?
year.
Mm-hmm.
He got
Basketball.
like he got like 6 games from his senior year.
Yep. Steve had like a 9-minute breakdown. I was like, the fuck, that's it? Because I didn't look at the time before I pressed play. And I'm at work. I had to staple some papers and look, and it was over. I said, hold on.
Yeah, got hurt.
Mm-hmm. But you got that. You can't teach that size and that length, and he know how to use it. So
that's a big kid, dog.
You shake your head.
I'll say this about him. Like I said, he does have all the attributes. I just don't think we're in a position where we can take projects. We got to be in a position where we can take players. I hate to say that.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Coach. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we know over the next 1, 2, 3 years we're gonna have guys at the portal that are fillers. So he's just gonna be in the background. Him, Frankie Tenderlau, we'll see them in another like 3 years, hopefully. You know what I'm saying? So they'll be ready when we're ready. You know what I'm saying? But in the meantime, because we can put so many players on the team because of the no cap. You know what I'm saying? We just got to stay under that 85. I think it's gonna be okay to stash a few kids, and I think he might be a good one. I hope.
That's Jackson Howard standing with him. Jackson Howard's a big kid himself. Look at this man's legs, man.
Still ain't find out who that coach was?
No. Who is that?
Or who the legend was, or whoever I should say. I don't know. Coach Hayes, you know who that is?
Who's that?
Where they're talking?
I don't know. We trying to find out.
I can't see. Oh,
we said the same that day. We said the same thing, and we was in person.
I ain't talking to.
Yeah, because he pretty tall himself.
He a big kid. Look at his lower body, man. I mean, he a big kid, bro. I hate to say this. I don't know his basketball. I don't know his basketball argument, but if I was him, I'd be definitely at the league. His basketball joint, you can have that crap. I mean, this football joint. I'm gonna go play me in basketball, but that's me.
No, you got to be able to. You got to be able to get there. He might not be that. You know.
And that's what I'm saying.
Who that in the purple? Who that is in purple?
That's his old girl. Yeah. That's his mama.
Yeah. Who mama? Who that is, Hayes?
I'm saying that Malik mom.
Yes, sir.
You know, she ran track for Joan, man. When I was talking to him,
I see the hurdles in her. Rod Mack right there. Rod Mack always Johnny on the spot.
That's Rod Mack. Yeah, it is Rod Mack.
And that's Beasley, right? And that's Rohan Marley.
I would have told him he need to pull his shorts down, boy. That boy playing soccer. I'm gonna tell you this, Malik Bryan, a nice sized kid, though. Like I don't talk to him, of course, but I mean in his uniform, it's imposing, bro. Like yeah, bro. And I've called a couple of his games.
Rohan got to get some more shorts. I thought that was like one of them little athletic, a little female trainer. That's what I thought it was. I like, man.
He got him pulled all high.
That boy played linebacker at the U.
But like Jesus, rice and peas.
She about to bust out them purple things.
Boy, you crazy, boy. He looked just like her. They look. You can tell they mom and dad. I mean, mom and.
I ain't never seen her face.
There you go, right there. She looked like him. But nah, he a big kid, man.
What you think he gonna play, Coach? You think Malik? What you think Malik gonna play?
I hope he play. Again, I hope he plays off the edge. To me, when I watch him play, he's much better off the edge going to get the guy in the backfield. When he's in the middle, you can see his mind working. Like I can see his mind working. You know.
That boy look like he'll much Jalen Phillips.
So I gotta hold on. You know I've been over here dealing with this little bracket joint, right? You know, just messing with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. I'm messing with
Marvin Belly said your face don't matter. What Marvin Belly from? That boy might be from Pahokee.
Immaculate somewhere.
I boy said face don't matter. That boy said it don't matter.
Who said that?
Marvin Bailey.
That boy crazy. Hold up. Conference. Yeah.
Man, that boy like a grown man, bro. I'm still saying whatchamacallit.
Oh man, he look like he's 19. Tenelu look like he 21. Tenelu look like he 23.
Kendall got a dad body already.
All right.
Somebody said doofus.
Huh?
Nah, go ahead, coach.
All right, I know this is gonna sound crazy, but go ahead. Just follow me with this. So if I look back at the bracket, right? I know it's gonna sound crazy. And this is the something. All right. So if I looked at just take today's right now, I took the top 2 teams from each one. So the Big Ten, of course, we have Michigan, Ohio State. The second one would be Pac-12, be USC, Washington. ACC would be Clemson, Florida State. Big 12 is TCU, Kansas State. And SEC will be Georgia, Tennessee. And the only reason that Georgia, Tennessee, because Tennessee beat Alabama. Even though they got the same record, Tennessee beat Alabama head-to-head. Right? All right. And then the one group of 5 who got the best record right now would have been Troy versus South Alabama if they was all in the same bracket. I didn't go through all that, right? Just the top 2 for whatever. They were just one big conference. I know they got a group A or group B. And there you go. That kicks it off. And if everybody does, if everybody does what they're supposed to do, who's the top 4? Who's the top 4 right now in college football playoffs? Georgia, they in there. Michigan. Represents the West. TCU represents the Big 12. USC represents the Pac-12. And then Ohio State is still in there. They still in there. Alabama got kicked out because they lost to Tennessee, but I don't see how Tennessee is ahead of them. They got the same record and Tennessee beat them. I don't understand how that. But anyway, but Tennessee is still represented. Not Penn State, but Clemson is represented. And then Penn State would technically be in there as well if they were all in one conference instead of being So you basically taking the same exact teams if you really look at it. Right or wrong. You taking the same exact teams.
Right. How would it be picked though? Because Florida State is not in the top 12.
No. The reason I said Florida State because they were the top of their side of the ball.
Right. I know why you said them.
Right, but if they were all in one conference, they just said if they were all in one conference, like the Big 12 is all in one conference, right? Yeah, the Big 12 don't have a side. They take the top 2.
Do you let the group of 5 in, or do you let?
No, yeah, you let the top group of 5 in, like the top 2 teams, like 10 and 2 or whatever. Let them play.
What if they don't have a good record?
Oh, somebody in a group of 5 gonna be 10 and something, dog. 11 and something. Everybody ain't gonna be trash.
I want to see Jackson State, Michigan first round this year. That'd be one of the most watched college football games. Now, if Deion stays at Jackson State, dog, he's creating N1 mixtape again. His school, that school is going to be one of the most. They're going to start putting him on TV. Like he's creating just a show. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have to be the top team in the nation, but he's creating it's just entertainment. It's a show. People want to see him play.
They got to get behind him, Street. Like financially, people got to get behind him. But I talked about it earlier, said it earlier. Otherwise, he gonna be out. He gonna be out of there. Nobody can't blame him. But so him, the rest of the SWAC, and some supporters, they got to get together and make this thing work. If they really about that business, that's what needs to happen. You guys got to get behind them, start becoming honorary, what you call it, like honorary Jackson State grads or whatever. Become their boosters and just make sure all this stuff is going to the football program. So the football program gonna bring in money for the whole school. Make it so Dion don't have to leave. Get him his $9 million or whatever it is you think he deserves or whatever. Go to Eddie George, do the same thing. Like y'all, it's there. We just
like, you know what's funny, Kyle? That I've always said, because Shannon Crowder always talked about HBCUs and PWI, and I totally understand that. Making a decision between the University of Florida and Bethune-Cookman. I totally get that. But what they need to do is adopt that HBCU. Take that wealth, take that wealth and adopt Bethune, right? If you at Florida State, adopt FAMU. If you at Georgia Tech or if you at Georgia, adopt one of the HBCUs in Georgia. If you at Ole Miss, adopt Mississippi Valley or Jackson State. If you at, you know what I'm saying? So now go do things for those universities, dog. Like dog, Ole Miss don't need your $500,000 donation so you can get your name on the running back room.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? When you give, you can mess around and get doggone Jackson State $500,000 or $1 million. Instead of just a little plaque on the running back room, you can mess around for $1 million. You can get a whole section of the stadium.
Yeah.
Like you get a library or something.
And the thing is, Coach, it don't even take my $1 million or my $500,000. I can get 5 because Coach, when you become a certain person, you in a certain bracket. The people you know are in your same bracket. You go get 5 of your homeboys. LeBron, you go get, because Maverick Carter make his own money. Who else LeBron like to hang out with? Jay-Z. Oh, what was the Banana Boat Boys? LeBron, Chris Paul, D-Wade, and I think Melo.
Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Camelo.
So the 5 of y'all are right. So the 4 or 5 of y'all, hey, we gonna take on FAMU. Nah, we gonna challenge somebody else. Y'all go take on Bethune. We're gonna challenge another 4 or 5 players or entertainers. Y'all go get and y'all know how much pride that'll start to how much pride will start to happen amongst us, amongst our community, bro. Guys are that's gonna become a thing. We're gonna be like, guys are gonna be like, oh no, we guys are gonna be rushing to get to Atlanta schools. You know what I'm saying? Like all the entertainers from Atlanta are gonna be like, oh no, we finna jump on, this school, that school, whatever. That'll
KB, I've been saying it for long. There's no HBCUs out west. So when you get them guys, have them adopt a school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things that people have to understand. You giving money back to Michigan. They got a $17 billion endowment, dog. They don't need your $1 million, dog. They laugh at that money. He gave $1 million when Steve Ross gave $1 billion. Like they laugh at them, but imagine what $1 million does.
That's like,
yeah.
People don't know what to do with money, man. That's why I started IOD Squad. They don't know what to do with their money.
So imagine all them players at Ohio State, right? Especially the black players at Ohio State that go in and represent and adopt North Carolina. I mean, Ohio Central. In the Ohio Central, the HBCU. Imagine
I don't know.
Yeah, there's an HBCU in Ohio. That's what I'm saying. It's called Ohio. I'll tell you right now. Central State. That's what it's called. Central State.
Okay.
And exactly, that brings awareness to our own people. Like, that's, bro. So imagine Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, them guys say, you know what? Or, because they can donate those money. They got to donate it anyway. They got to burn it up. Stop giving out book bags, dog. I hate that. I hate that book bag trash.
I do too, bro. I do too. Turkeys and book bags, and I ain't right with that shit.
I hate that shit. You giving a kid a fish, you ain't teaching him how to fish. Steve Fields on the phone and we
Get up
dogging
out of here,
him.
man.
There's Steve Field on the phone. He ain't practice.
Nigga, your own boy.
Yeah, he was at Central. Well, white boy Steve.
White boy Steve.
That's what his name was. White boy Steve. That's funny. This dude out there coaching him up,
man.
baby. All right, bro. That was 12:30.
All right, man. Appreciate those streets.
Yeah, 12:30,
Nah, I
man.
appreciate
I just walked in the room. My girl had boy shorts on, man. I gotta get up out of here with y'all hard back.
I just got to
get up out of here.
I hear you, dog.
Ah,
Hang your
had that
business.
one leg up too, hanging out the
Yeah.
street. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I wasn't saying the white schools adopt them. I was saying the black players on the white schools adopt the HBCU. So not the white schools adopt the HBCU, but the players. Right here. These dudes in the green shorts. Go adopt Flomo right here. If you in Miami, go adopt Florida Memorial. Huh? Come on. Talk to me, somebody. But anyway, street man, as always, dog. We'll talk. I definitely need to holler at you about Chris Leary, though. Look at Duke. Go ahead, Duke.
You see Duke with the beanie on?
Yeah, man. Looking like he belonged Dead Presidents, the movie.
All right, man. We out. I'll hit you in the morning, Hayes. All right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, fellas.
Yeah. You. 786-405-9499 if you want to get down with the IOD squad and want to learn how to invest. If you want to join and become a villain and get access to more information, more content, more, yeah, cause they got videos and stuff y'all never saw. If you want more content, more information, we put a lot of stuff out there that we don't put out in the public. Hit the join button right next to the logo. I'm D, man. Don't put off tomorrow. Something you could do today. The rest of your life could be seconds away. I'm out of here.